Falcon RT660 is the enthusiast choice for ultra-high performance. Engineered for predictable handling and stability, the RT660 provides maximum traction both on and off the track. Your competitive edge has arrived with the Falcon RT660.
Formula Drift is brought to you by Toyota, let's go places. Royal Purple, the official engine oil of Formula Drift, the synthetic expert. Rockstar, the official energy drink of Formula Drift. Welcome out to the one, the only Formula Drift. We are at a brand new venue, and I'll tell you what, a little hot in the afternoon yesterday. We woke up to some thunder, some lightning, as well as some rain, but it's dried out, and the forecast is saying that it's going to be clear, a little bit of clouds, but it should be dry. So you can see the wind blowing, and that's going to help us out as we get the track prep for round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. This is Type S Elevated, presented by AutoZone, a brand new venue for us. This is round 7 of 8. That means there's only one more round after this, and you know where it's going to end, at the House of Drift, Irwindale, California. So top 32 is on deck. We have a halftime break. Then we go into top 16 and find out who wins here at the first ever, the inaugural at Utah Motorsports Campus. I'm Jared Deenda. I'm joined by my good friend, host, and also doing double duty. He is a judge as well. He is doing double duty. Like I said, a busy man up here in the booth. I am Jared Deenda. Let's slide back so we fit here all on the big screen. I got a big head, and I put on my glasses just so I can look smarter like you. Ryan, yesterday we saw our Link Engine Management Prospect Championship. It all culminated here in Salt Lake City. We saw Blake Olson get the win. It was awesome. And then Robert Thorne, a rookie, grabbed that overall championship. Pretty exciting last night.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible to see a rookie like, somebody that we didn't really know about before this season win the championship. And you can see some of his driving here. He was placing his car everywhere it needed to go, and showed that he was really worthy of that title.
He didn't get the win. Again, he was bested by Blake Olson overall. And, if that's any shape of things to come here today, it's going to make for some exciting battles and some of the fastest speeds we've seen this year. People are claiming 130, 120. It's still, I think the fastest we've seen is about 109. It's still very fast. And then also you got to take into consideration sideways, wheel speed, traction. We saw some drivers kind of make some mistakes, but overall it was just a really, really fun event. And you can just see it's a family affair. That grassy knoll, it's right below us. We have some fans down there. The Rockstar energy drink tent down there, the official energy drink of Formula Drift. But as you know, the track is looking really good. So as we get get the lay of the land, let's throw it down to Lorette Nickel, who has our ACT, Advanced Clutch Technology, track condition report. Lorette?
Yeah, hey Jared, thank you so very much. So there's a low percentage of rain right now, but this morning we had thunder, lightning, and rain, which made for a very damp practice for our pros. Now, I was able to talk to Chris Forsberg, and he told me that that made for a very loose track, and a lot of guys were understeering, which led them off the track. Since this is a high-speed course and there's a slickness to the track, it's easy to lose control of the car. The sun will play a big role in the temperature on track, and if there's clouds and track temps cool, it could take front grip away from the car. The key to success is to adapt to these changing conditions. The wind, the clouds, cooling temperatures, all of that equals a smaller margin of consistency here in Salt Lake. Jared.
Thank you so much, Lorette. And Ryan, you said In addition to all that weather, what you went out for a jog this morning, early in the morning.
Yeah, I got caught in the rain, and then it started to hail.
What the hail?
What the hail? It hurt. It hurt a lot.
Yeah, so as we come into this round, a new track, there's no data, right? I mean, you look at these previous tracks. Long Beach is where we've been. We saw Ryan Tuerck get the win. Atlanta, Georgia, that is the birthplace of Formula Drift. Next year marks 20 years. Aasbo gets the win. Hughes, Reeder, Kazuya Taguchi, Chelsea Denofa. The trend, a different winner at each round. Now coming into Grantsville, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City, about 30 minutes, who's going to get the win? TBD. I mean, you know, again, no data, new track, fastest track we've seen, but overall, the battle for the title. What are your predictions? What are you kind of seeing here? Because it was super tight in prospect, but a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah, if you look at Matt Field qualifying 23rd position here, being in the lead, it puts a question mark on whether or not he can make it through far enough to maintain that lead. Frederick Aasbo, I think, qualified. I can't remember where he qualified it, but
number one.
Number one, was he?
He did qualify number one.
Shows how much
That's
I pay
right.
attention after qualifying's over. But that is a big question mark right there. If Frederick Aasbo qualifies first, Field is down to 23rd, so he's got to battle his way through some drivers very closely matched to him.
Taking a look here at Matt Field, as you said, our number one qualifier. If you're just tuning in, this is the course. Inside clip, outside zone. We'll get into that. But let's just talk more about where the drivers' minds are, what's going on. As you said, Aasbo, he's got the star on his back. You know, I mean, controlled chaos. If you haven't watched the new series, watch it. Rockstar Energy Drink follows him and his Toyota and Rockstar teammate. That man right there, Ryan Tuerck. He gets that number 3 qualifying position. Talking about Ryan Tuerck, and no, excuse me, he qualified 8th, but we're talking about point standings here overall.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. Of course, people want to win this round, but the big picture being the championship. Where are you positioned coming into this, and how can you best extract points from this round?
There you go, a 3-time champion, the only one in the field, Chris the Force Forsberg. His eyes are on the prize. He's currently sitting 4th. Does he have enough room? Does he have enough car to really kind of challenge and have a go at a very competitive Matt Field? Keep in mind, Matt Field has not won an event, but he still leads the pack. And a gentleman that's done that before is Chris Forsberg. So, Chelsea Denofa, he's just shy of 100 points away from the leader. You know, he's known for being very fast. He's looking for high speed. How do you think this Ford Mustang and the RTR team is going to handle this track?
Yeah, it seems to suit his driving style. Throttle everywhere, big angle in certain areas to maximize the path around the corner, basically.
We're taking a look at Field and Aasbo just through the cockpit there, and like we said, Frederick Aasbo, our number 1 qualifier. I did get a message from Alec Robbins, who the Norwegian Hammer is going against. Alec, unfortunately, you know, the boy from Minnesota, that Facetto Nissan Z, having some engine issues. He's been having engine issues this entire weekend, so that'll favor Aasbo. Unfortunately, Robbins, he knows who he's going against, so he let me know. He says, hey man, sorry, I'm having some engine issues, just want to let you know. So obviously I'm perpetuating that to you, the fans. Dylan Hughes, look at him, he qualifies 2nd. You know, he's got a lot of momentum, winning out of the craziest FD event, Dylan Hughes, but a lot of eyeballs again on Matt Field. Can he pull away from the rest of the pack? Can the Beast from the Bay just kind of really dominate here in Salt Lake City? We'll find out. Lorette Nickel is with them now.
Hey, Jared, thank you so much. Well, Matt Field, if we're looking at the brackets and looking at qualifying, super unusual to see you in 20th in qualifying. What happened?
We were just struggling with grip. The biggest thing is I was getting greedy, and I kind of refused to make a change and just figured that I can make the change myself, and it didn't work out for us. So today we came in with clear minds, a different strategy, and have been making positive changes. So every run I'm getting better. I think it's a little bit due to just the lack of runs, but a little bit to our ego saying like, no, we should be able to have this much grip in the car. We should be able to do this, but it's a different track. It's a different world up here.
Yeah, and you said that you love this track, high speed, and as we're looking at the points standings, currently in the lead, 6 different winners. You are most likely looking to be the 7th different winner this round, right?
I mean, if you don't think that about yourself, don't even show up.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And so what have you learned out here about you and the car on the Salt Lake trick?
Man, what I've learned is that I need more power. That's it. The elevation is serious. And coming here next year, I'm definitely going to come with some more power because it is unbelievable. One, it's a fast track, lots of grip on the surface, but then the elevation takes its toll for sure.
Okay. All right, Matt, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck, guys.
I mean, it looks like the transparency and the honesty there, but he is facing that gentleman right there, and Rome Charpentier has gained just, I think, a lot of fans, but also just kind of piqued the interest of his competitors. And considering that Matt Field will go against a driver who is gaining momentum, has kind of, let's just call it what it is, nothing to lose. It's Matt Field's to kind of lose with that gap, and he's saying, "Yeah, hey, you know, I have all these kind of downfalls. What's your thoughts?"
Well, Matt Field has now seen the bottom of his performance envelope, let's say, and now he can only go up from there. Today, through practice, hopefully he learned something. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see down there, Matt Field, Rome Charpentier qualifying 10th. And that is definitely no slouch there. We saw really high scores, you know, just there Thursday. It seems like just yesterday, but 2 days ago, you know, just with this doubleheader weekend or a double championship weekend with the Pro Spec and the Pro Championship. Let's take a look at this course because very dynamic. You have your decel zones, you have your outer zones. Walk us through it, Ryan.
Looking at the first decel zone, bottom left, just after the start line, you'll see that it's pretty big, but it's very early, and that means that the majority of the slowdown is coming from these drivers early on, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be accelerating exactly from that point on. It just means that their decel after that won't be as aggressive. Of course, there's still going to be some decel going to inside clip 1. These guys are coming in at 105, 109 miles per hour, and then they have to slow down to about 65, 70 miles per hour to get around inside clip 1. So we know there's another decel or a continued decel there, just not an aggressive one, maybe like a bit of a flotation.
It's a unit of measure. It's not the rules, right?
Yeah, and then of course outside zone 2, there's a slight decel there as well as cars are getting themselves set for inside clip 2.
And going from that that outside zone 2 going into inner clip 2, you can see the points at stake there, and then bring it on home that big, long, sweeping left-hand turn, you know, and we'll walk through it as we get into our battles. There's points of contention here. There's rumble strips. There's double wide rumble strips that came into play yesterday. So we'll walk you through it as those scenarios kind of become present in competition.
Yeah, so you can see our flyover here. That was outside zone 1 on driver's right. On your left there, that's outside zone 2. Coming into inside clip 2 here, which is in on the track a little bit, gives the drivers a nice midline through here. Then transitioning out to outside zone number 3. They need to ride that outside edge, but not put their tire in the dirt because it has kind of dragged a few cars off the track once they get in there. The grip goes away and the car just wants to go off the track. Yeah,
you can drop a tire, but if you get 2 and obviously 3, that's going to be incomplete and you're going to be deemed at a loss or eventually kind of a deficit. Here's our Permatex keys to victory for the lead car.
Lead car needs to have a quick and accurate initiation. You want to see that car rotating quick and maintaining that angle through the inside clips, and they want to be tight on both of those inside clips. Inside clip 2, that line from there to outside zone 3 should be about a midline. We don't want to see cars all the way to driver's right. You want to have that midline and then fill zone number 3 really well. The chase car needs to maintain proximity from start to finish. They need to match the lead car's smoke trail. And what I mean by that is the lead car or the chase car should not be nose to nose with the lead car. They should be back a little bit. And that means the rear wheels are going to be in the same position as the rear wheels on the lead car and match that smoke trail. And then they want to mimic the line, the transitions, and they want to make sure they cross the finish line with angle. That goes for both lead and chase cars. Finish the course strong with angle. Don't go careening off track or any spins like that. This is something that came up in 2019 that we've stuck with since then. It's just one of those rules that all the drivers agreed upon. Need to finish the course with control and angle.
Control, angle, it's formula drift, not formula drive straight. And you got to complete the entirety of the run. And that does exceed, but don't go into the dirt. And Ryan Lontaine, you are lone Canadian judge, but you're joined by your peers, Chris Ewell and Brian Eggert. We're up here in the box. Thank you for joining us. We are live from Utah Motorsports Campus. This is Type S Elevated, presented by AutoZone. Let's take a look at the action tonight. We'll be right back here at Utah Motorsports Campus, round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. I'm Jared Deanna, Ryan Lontaine. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, our first battle, our defending champion, Frederick Aasbo versus Alec Robbins.
Going wild in a mall help us tell the GR story.
You're right.
We need more cars.
GT Radio. Experience ultra-high performance.
For those who don't settle when others do. Who will give everything, but won't give up. For those who believe in unlimited, while others limit themselves. For those who are set free by performance and believe innovation can take you anywhere.
Lorette did such a great job earlier with that ACT Advanced Clutch Technology Track Condition Report. Speaking of ACT, the track report brought to you by ACT. Be sure to check out ACT's all-new Mod Twin Clutch at advancedclutch.com. All right, we see Frederick Aasbo pulling up to the line, and it is our first battle making some history. We can see Frederick Aasbo again with the target on his back, but that being a rock star, and Alec Robbins from Becker, Minnesota. Again, Frederick Aasbo, our defending champion, with that Controlled Chaos series dropping. If you haven't seen it, just dropped. Go to youtube.com/rockstar and you can see. So Alec Robbins unfortunately did text me and said, hey man, I'm not 100%. Car's a little unhealthy, been struggling with some engine issues. So, you know, he's gonna give it his best effort, but he knows who he's going against, our #1 qualifier and defending champion. That is Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Aasbo. It's Alec Robbins initiating that first clip. We are officially turning to burn our first pro battle here at a brand new venue for Formula Drift. Frederick Aasbo makes quick work of outside zone 1 and 2. Now coming to inside clip 2. Here comes Alec Robbins. Doesn't look too shabby. I'll be quite open just as I say that. He goes and takes a shallower line, that final outside zone. Frederick Aasbo, I mean, doing exactly what he needs to do. Very reminiscent of what we saw on Thursday for his qualifying run. A good job there by Frederick Aasbo. But I'll tell you, Alec Robbins, for being unhealthy as an engine, still looked decent.
Yes, he did. Yeah, Aasbo here placed his car everywhere it needed to be. Very smooth, no issues. You can see as he comes by inside clip 1 right there, nice and tight. Great job in outside zone 1, outside zone 2. Like you said though, Robbins is right there, his car links back. He's on line until inside clip number 2. And then as they transition, he's on the inside. Aasbo, on the other hand, is in that box. Alec does back his car up into the zone a little bit, leaves it a little early, but great job from Aasbo up front. Really nothing bad to say. Very smooth, put the car in all the right places. It looks like he knows how to get through this track very smoothly on throttle without any kind of concerns. Look at that line all the way around outside zone number 2. Pretty much perfection right there.
You can't win in top 32. You can only win in the finals. So you kind of pace yourself. He knows, again, his spotter, Stefan Papadakis, he's up here. He's probably saying, hey, just FYI, Alec, you know, is a little under the weather as far as the engine goes in his vehicle. More machine versus man. But that comes into play here. And I think it's good to be honest about it. You'd rather kind of, hey man, being forward here, good sportsmanship, this is where I'm at. Don't want to total the car, don't want anything bad to happen. So I think that's a very tempered approach on Alec Robbins' behalf. So here we go. Frederick Aasbo will chase down the Facetto Nissan 350Z from Minnesota. Alec Robbins has, just been gaining ground here in the championship, and a very fast driver. When he came out guns a-blazing a few years ago, and it's great to see him and his family here in the FD Championship. All right, here we go, initiating. There goes Alec Robbins, gets in the rumble strips. You can see quick little yank of that handbrake, but Alec Robbins ripping through, but Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer, Aasbo dives in. There's where you go. You're talking about where those rear tires should be. Frederick Aasbo right there, following that smoke signal, following that smoke trail. He does come a bit shallow, but watch him massage it. So you were talking about getting into the gravel. So Alec Robbins does exceed the edge of the course just a little bit. Little gravel machine gun. I know, shooting some rocks into that Armco wall over there, but I really want you to point out again, smoke trail. You talked about that earlier. Keys to victory. Aasbo did a great job of that right in the middle course.
Yeah, so you saw where Aasbo was positioned there against Robbins. You could see that he was right where he should be, not too far forward, not too far back. So on initiation, like you said, Robbins did drop a tire there over the rumble strip in the dirt, but doesn't disturb him too much. Aasbo here is mimicking line angle that Alec is laying down in the lead position, getting his car positioned. So you can see how Aasbo can still see where he's going, but the smoke lines are sort of matched up. That was Aasbo's one mistake, I think, right there. He had a bit of a bobble going into outside zone 3, and then Alec drops the tire through the majority of outside zone 3. So you can see there, long handbrake pull from Alec, but he gets back on throttle, no problems there. Aasbo's adapting well to what's going on ahead of him. He's getting his car well positioned. Again, this is a perfect view right here of the positioning that we're expecting from the chase cars. That's exactly where we want to see them. And again, that was Aasbo's mistake. You can see that bobble and angle as he transitioned, and then Alec puts a tire over. So in terms of did he do enough, I think Aasbo, in terms of what he did on the lead-to-lead comparison, definitely had an advantage there. Chase to chase, I think it was a clear victory as well, despite that little error.
A great effort there by Minnesota's own Alec Robbins, but he knows who he's going against. Our #1 qualifier and defending champion, Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Aasbo, moves on from 32 into 16 as we are now in the Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32. Rockstar Energy, the official energy drink of Formula Drift. So he'll advance on to the Royal Purple Top 16. Royal Purple, the synthetic experts, the official engine oil of Formula Drift. Moving on, a winner earlier this year, Kazuya Taguchi in St. Louis, and just with fanfare, just such an exciting victory, and a lot of people rooting for him. It seems like he's gained some traction. He's going against Darren Kelly. Now, Darren Kelly, the pride of New Zealand, the lone New Zealand competitor, the heart of racing, that Aston Martin, such a unique vehicle, unique build, unique sound overall. It's really cool to see, again, just the variety of nationalities and variety of vehicles here in the mix. Now, keep in mind that GTR powered 86, the Up Garage ISR Performance 86, going against, again, that heart of racing, Aston Martin. So Kazuya Taguchi, he qualified 16th. Darren Kelly qualifying 17th. So all things considered, Darren Kelly gaining some knowledge each round. He does have a new engine setup, right? From that was, what round debut was 2 rounds ago. So yeah, it was 2 rounds ago. So here we go. Let's get back to the action here. 85, 89, 90 miles per hour from Kazuya Taguchi in that lead position. Darren Kelly massages that Aston Martin right there to the side of Kazuya Taguchi. Gets a little lost in smoke, a little straightened there by Darren Kelly in chase position. Kazuya Taguchi, let's see how he tightens it up. He does not to that second inside clip. We need to see him tighter. Darren Kelly taking a shallower line, unfortunately. Maybe gets a little lost in the smoke. That final outside zone, Kazuya Taguchi does get out to it. He fills it up, but Darren Kelly, again, taking that shallower line. Great job by Kazuya Taguchi. He did miss that inside clip number 2. So let's walk us through it again. And again, I think the smoke is really going to play a factor here. Going from pro spec to pro, a little more horsepower, a lot more tire.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, that smoke is what affected Darren Kelly coming through inside clip 2 area. But let's look at the initiation. A little bit of a bobble from Taguchi in the lead. You can see he didn't let the car rotate fully, but Darren Kelly's right there behind him. Taguchi's not fully in zone 1. Does a better job in zone 2, though, coming through inside clip 2. Like you said, Taguchi was off. And watch Darren Kelly's transition here. Way too early, and I'm sure he was kind of upset with that one in the car as it happened, and he knew, now I'm on the inside, now I'm going to have to get off throttle and try to get the car positioned. I'm going to lose proximity there, and I'm going to fall back a little bit.
And that's a happy Papa right there. Speaking of Papadakis, that is the Papadakis team. Got to be elated there to advance on. And keep in mind, Aasbo will be going against one of the drivers that are currently on course. A winner earlier this year, Kazuya Taguchi, or Darren Kelly from New Zealand. You can see miles of smiles there. We're high in the sky here at the Type S Elevated, presented by AutoZone. Yeah, man versus machine versus track versus man versus machine, right? So you have so many different elements, so many different factors. You know, if you look at surfing, it's man versus wave, you know, and you have the kind of the foam in between you. But overall, there's a lot of mental, there's a lot of mechanical factors in this.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't matter how strong the driver is. If the car has a breakage, then you can't overcome that sometimes, you know.
Preparedness, right? Just preparedness is a key to success. And a lot of these teams, you know, you see the development of parts and failures. Kind of preparing for disaster is also a really good key to success as well.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Darren Kelly out front again from New Zealand, a two-time drift champion in his native country, road racer as well, sports car racing. And here we go with Darren Kelly. Will that be a restart? Yeah, that's going to be a restart. So it looks like just had a little stutter out of the gate. Looked like Darren Kelly kind of jumped it a little bit and then kind of reset. Yeah, so unfortunately, look at that thumbs up from that gentleman right there, feeling the flow, feeling the energy. But Darren just had a quick little jump and then stopped. Oh, shoot. So in regards to the start, the lead car cannot leave the start line until the red lights right in between both the racers extinguish. But keep in mind that chase car, in this instance, Kazuya Taguchi, can leave prior to the lead car, and that's all about pace, and that's why we have the start chicane. So it does, yeah, look at that. You see Taguchi's name in St. Louis. Love to see Darren Kelly up in the mix, but again, I love the variety, and not only in pro, but also in pro spec. You touched on that last night. I think that's really cool. Here we go. We got a clean start? Yes, we do. Here we go. Darren Kelly, the heart of racing. Aston Martin, Kazuya Taguchi, 94.9 miles per hour. Big angle there from Darren Kelly. He's going to throw it down tight on that inside clip. Need to get that overhead view for that outside zone 1, going into 2. Looks like he's down. Big angle again. Inside clip 2, right and go in that box. Kazuya Taguchi, couple car lengths back, now coming at last outside zone. Darren Kelly bringing it home for the fondue. Ooh, doesn't see. Gets into the gravel. Little rally racing, little rally cross going into the gravel machine gun as the Aston Martin crosses that finish line. Your knee-jerk thoughts about Darren Kelly entering into FD with a very unique car, but also walk us through this run.
Yeah, he did a much cleaner run in the lead there with that open air in front of him. At initiation, good job. Maybe dropped the tire in the dirt a little bit over the rumble strip. Bit of a bobble coming to outside zone 1, which he misses slightly. He was in the box, but not all the way. In the chase, you've got Taguchi pretty much right there with him. Matching line, matching angle, as you can see there in that overhead view. Coming to outside zone 3, this is where Darren puts a tire in the dirt. So I think it's going to come down to the accuracy errors that Darren Kelly had. The one in the chase position and then going into the lead now, where he did drop that tire in outside zone 1. There was a kind of a bobble on angle there going into outside zone 1. But overall, a really smooth run from Darren Kelly. Look at the angle. Again, set it and forget it for the most part, except that early one. And even when he dropped the tire here in outside zone 3, stayed on throttle. I don't think it really affected the angle too much, and he got through the finish line pretty cleanly.
Yeah, so a really good effort there by Darren Kelly and Kazuya Taguchi. I think there were mistakes on both sides, but now we're kind of really splitting hairs here. And your thoughts on Darren Kelly entering and his talent as we go to our judges. Slide him left for Taguchi, right for Darren Kelly. We got it one more time for Brian Agger, and it looks like, and there we go. So Kazuya Taguchi gets the victory. All right, so as we get Kazuya Taguchi advancing on, Laurent Nickel is with Frederick Aasbo.
All sorts of good things going on down here in the hot pits. Frederick Aasbo, your main man, Mario, your mechanic, told me that the first lap out here, you got on the radio and you're like, I love this track. That is so confidence-inspiring for both you and the team.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's a sign of this being a lot of fun. You know, that's what it's about at the end of the day. And going to a new place, you don't really know what you're going to get, but the scenery here, the track is a ton of fun. There's a lot of grip in the track, in the pavement, so we've had to loosen up the car quite a bit, but you're just flying through there, and when you get it right, and you're extracting every little bit of horsepower out of the motor. It feels amazing.
Wow. And so even with a new track, no data, you feel like you're really dialing it in.
I mean, we're still working on it. We're far from perfect, but we had a decent qual run. I still think we could have cleaned up a couple things there. We feel pretty dialed right now, working on some chase stuff. So, you know, we're having a great day in the office, and nothing's given in the sport, but we're having a lot of fun doing this.
Okay. And shout out to your teammate, Ryan Tuerck. We're going to see him come up in just a few seconds.
Hell yeah. Good luck, Ryan.
Yeah, and funny, Frederick Aasbo says he has a pretty decent qualifying run when he qualified first, guys.
All right, well, thank you so much. Some great insight there. And here we are sitting third, as Freddie was saying. See what you got, Ryan. He's going against Mike Power. Both these guys, East Coasters, East Coast ECFD, East Coast Formula Drift, as a Tuerck in that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla got the victory on the debut, the worldwide debut of that Toyota GR Corolla in Long Beach, got the victory. Him and his wife Shannon, his brand new son Roman, as we're going to clear up the track. Mike Power from New York. He's been a busy man. Saw him out at Cletus and Cars in Bristol at the Bristol 1000, and saw him out there filming for Type S. He's on that Type S team. How we doing, man? We doing all right? We're feeling good right there. Homeboy's looking at his phone. He's got a diamond on his shirt, diamond in the sky. Throw him up. You know, this is the kind of weather where you can go tank tops or flip flops, or you can go like, you know, I got a sweatshirt and shorts on, so you just kind of variety. Look at she wears the hair color, whatever her hair color is, she wears on her shirt. Pink hair.
I think
pink
her
hair.
sweater should say purple. Then.
It was like blurple.
Blurple?
Yeah, it was like pink purple. A little mix. Oh, look at this hot rod. Late entry. Look at the size of the turbo on the back of that thing. That is absolutely huge. Big wastegate out back of that little single-seater UTV.
He smashed my shins last night with some gravel as I was out painting the track. I don't think he saw me.
Just sandblasted you?
Peppered me with rocks. It was pretty great.
Again, a really cool story being told on Controlled Chaos, presented by Rockstar, featuring that gentleman, Ryan Tuerck, and Frederick Aasbo. Mike Power. Looks like he's going to back off and warm up real quick, too. Get a quick little heat cycle in him, cleaning the track. So right now, Ryan Tuerck, Mike Power. And we are in our Rockstar Energy Top 32, the official energy drink of Formula Drift. Ryan Tuerck qualifying 8th, Mike Power, car number 919. Power Racing qualifying 25th. You can see those red lights right in between them. And again, once they extinguish, Ryan Tuerck can leave. Power can leave prior to that. Here we go. All right, we got New Hampshire versus New York coming into. Oh, nice initiation by both of them. Ryan Tuerck, that big wide mouth. You can see pulling that front left Nitto tire off the ground in that second outside zone. Now Mike Power taking a little bit of shallower line. It's going to set him up. Tuerck actually could have been a little tighter to that inside clip. Now coming that last outside zone. A lot of these guys having trouble. Look at that, getting into the gravel.
Yeah, and you can see his front wheels move a little bit. He was on the gravel there, so it did affect him slightly.
A little correction, and then you were kind of like, oh, wow, a little slick. Well, I mean, figure all the rubber that was laid last night, you know, it dissipates with the rain and kind of the weather.
Sure.
But then coming in this morning, you know, practice, they had a couple hours, and that's, you know, you got to figure 32 cars, how many runs can you actually get? So, you know, dealing with the track as it is right now.
Yeah, so on Ryan's lead run, I think he missed outside zone 1. So let's watch again here. Nice initiation, though. Pretty tight on inside clip 1. He was not all the way into outside zone number 1, but does a better job on zone 2. There you can see Power falling behind a little bit, but he does take that tighter line through inside clip number 2, and then as they go to outside zone 3. Tuerck gets in there nicely, but then drops a tire just over the edge for the majority of outside zone number 3, so that's going to be a bit of a detriment to Tuerck there. It depends what happens with Power in the lead, of course, as it is comparative. And you can see he was slightly off of inside clip 2, as you pointed out, Jared. We'd like to see him a little bit tighter. At the very least, we'd like to see that front tire on that white line, and they can go as close to rubbing that inside clip without hitting it. But outside zone number 3, definitely an issue there with the tire off all the way around. So Mike Power, what does he have to do now? Fill outside zone 1, which is something that Ryan missed.
Yeah.
And then put his tire on the edge of the track in zone 3 all the way around without dropping that tire, but, you know, nice wide line, and then be tighter on inside clip 2. So Mike Power right now has 3 areas of opportunity that he can really expand upon if he's able to put his car in the right position.
Yeah, and he's got the mindset of the lead car now with, you know, going against Ryan Tuerck, who won round 1. Right now, Mike Power just needs to run his own run. Basically, Tuerck doesn't exist. I think that's the best approach right now for Mike Power to advance on and get through. As I said, Long Beach's winner is Ryan Tuerck. You know, he's in contention. He's in the championship hunt. This would be a huge blow and catch. Well, look at this, 100 miles per hour. Mike Power comes in, leaves it all out on the track. Now here we go in that first outside zone, transitioning into outside zone 2. In outside zone 2, need to get that aerial view. Let's see how he handles his inside clip. He nails it. He does what he needs to do. Now coming into that last outside zone. How's Mike Power going to handle this? He is right there on the track edge. He is looking at really taking down Ryan Tuerck, who is in top 5 contention right now.
Yep.
That Rain X Toyota GR Corolla, again, that's what I'm, you know, obviously Ryan Tuerck has been around since 2004. Mike Power, you know, fairly new to the series, you know, competed in Pro Spec, made the jump to Pro, and now here he is going in. But this is interesting. This is a brand new track, so there's no data. They can't go off anything. Ryan, I really want you to focus on the run, but also walk us through it. What went down?
That was a high-scoring qualifying run, if that's what we were doing right now, from Mike Power in the lead. Outside zone, inside clip 1, tight. Outside zone 1 and 2, filled. Inside clip 2, tight. Outside zone 3, mostly filled. Near the end, he came off a little bit, but if you compare that to Tuerck, who went 1 tire in the dirt all the way around outside zone 1, this is
so to remind the fans, you know, breaking down the criteria, line, angle, style. Obviously, that's qualifying. But right now, take a look at the BC Racing Go for Gold side by side. Let's look at chase runs as well. Take that into consideration.
So 1 eyeball on each screen here. We want to make sure we catch everything that both drivers are doing. Good initiation by both drivers. Chase drivers right here about the same. Watch the difference in line on the right versus left. Mike fills it, Ryan does not. On the outside zone 2, they both filled it great. Mike missed outside zone 2 in the chase. Tuerck was a little off, but I think he did a little bit better there. Right here, proximity-wise, they're about the same. Mike is not as wide in outside zone 3 as Tuerck was in his chase, but Ryan in his lead went a tire off. So there are some wins and losses for both drivers here.
Hey, got the fans out here rocking, like I said, shorts or flip-flops. I mean, man's steezing right now. Need to get him some heat waves out there, feeling the flow. There you go. All right. Well, taking a look at the polls, they're saying 58% are going one way to the other. All right. So again, this is where we're splitting hairs, and I think we're really analyzing this. Just, I mean, there were 2 really good runs, but with the mistakes made, you know, this gets interesting. This is where I kind of just want to lay out. Don't want to kind of impede on the thought process of what you guys have going on, because all right, slide him left for Tuerck, right for Mike Power. Again, Ryan Tuerck in contention, and that is Mike Power, and a 1 more time. So 2-1, and you went with the Power. So Chris Ewell siding with Mike Power, but Ryan Lontaine and Brian Eggert going 1 more time. Your rationale there, Ryan Lontaine?
I felt like Mike won the lead, hands down. He put his car in better places.
That was sick, as you said, the qualifying run.
Yeah, that was exactly what it should be. But in the chase position, I felt like Mike fell off in a couple of areas where Ryan was on the same line and did a better mimic from start to finish. Now, that 1 more time is, I think, you know, you look at errors that are worth more than others, and, you know, you come down to splitting hairs, but I couldn't justify personally going one way or the other fully. So that's why I went with 1 more time, to give them both an opportunity to clean it up. But Mike Power did an awesome job, and he has a great opportunity here.
Before we move on to the next battle, the poll online said 58% was siding with Mike Power, saying getting the victory over 42% for Ryan Tuerck. Okay. So, you know, they're kind of in the mix right there. So just kind of in that 50-50, 58-42, obviously. It's, you know, but the needle, according to the fans watching online, saying that Mike Power got the victory there. Okay. So, you know, we did not give 1 more time as an option. JTP, Justin Pawlak, who now lives here in Utah, and Mr. Daniel Stuke here in that M-Spec vehicle. But JTP, the signature teal and blue, looking down, looking for some great speeds here from Justin Pawlak. Gets that clean air. Ford Performance putting him up there, and check it out, big angle. Stuke wasn't focusing on him, but saw a little twitch in that chase position. Now coming into that second outside zone. Into the inside clip. There we go. Wrapping it around. Nice job by Pawlak. Stuke just barely knocking it over. Barely kissing it. Looks like Stuke, you saw him grip up, but look, he massages it back there. Well done by Stuke. Gaining that composure, but I'll tell you what, Justin Pawlak out front, looking confident. And there were a few drivers that came out here, and again, it was allowed to test the track, get some footage, and get used to the course. So we had the Sorensens out here. We saw JTP. I know Jeff Jones was out here. So a few of the drivers coming and having their way. There is Ryan Tuerck, who, and not a pushover there, going against Mike Power. Now he's got to find that X factor to really kind of, you know, take it over the top. Here we go.
All right, my focus is going to be on outside zone 2, Jared. There was something a little off with what JTP did right there. So you can see he has low angle by inside clip 1. It looked like he was, I don't know if the front end was washing up, but look, right there, he hesitates. The car, he comes off outside zone 2 early. The car kind of hesitates a bit, and then he gets back on throttle. So not ideal for JTP in the lead in 2 areas. Inside clip 1, it looked like it was low angle. I don't know if the front end was washing out, what was happening there. Let's watch from this angle. So right there, you see he's not quite straight, but almost. And then right here, see that? I think that was a handbrake pull there. It looked like the car was having an issue going from outside zone 2 to inside clip number 2. Going to outside zone 3. Pawlak does a good job there, running a nice wide line. And then the chase, you can see Stuke right in the right spot. Like you said, he got his car well positioned. So, going to be a tough decision here as we watch the second run of this battle.
Stuke, you know, in that chase position, you saw him a little stepped, and yeah, you see him come out of drift a little bit there. It wasn't like a roadblock, wasn't kind of, like you said, pulling that handbrake. It wasn't impeding in Stuke, but you have to think like, thinking quick like that, and how fast they're going into that second outside zone.
Yeah, it would definitely throw Stuke off. Something to happen in that area. That's an area where you need to get back on throttle as early as possible to get through inside clip 2. You can see that the error that Justin made there made him early on inside clip 2 as well.
Both these drivers have a big opportunity to not leave it in the judges' hands, so they need to throw down either a gangster lead run or a gangster chase run. So Daniel Stuke throwing it into that outside zone. Now coming out of the smoke is Stuke, and then Justin Pawlak. Justin Pawlak comes a little bit short there. Now tight to the inside clip, both of them go. Into that final outside zone. Let's take a look at the instant replay. And like I said, this is a big opportunity for one of these drivers to really kind of take it over the top.
Yeah, Stuke here did a good job. I think he dropped a tire in outside zone 2, but let's look at it from the drone. Decent initiation for both drivers. Good job on angle through in 1. Outside zone 1, much better from Stuke. Stuke does drop that tire there. I don't know if he slowed down. We'll have to try to get that from a different angle through there. But he maintained a good line through inside clip number 2, and decent job through outside zone number 3. Let's watch it here again from the ground as he rotates there. Good job on inside clip number 2. It seemed like a nice line was drawn there. It looked like JTP has a hesitation a bit in the chase position. Let's watch Stuke's line all the way around. Yeah, JTP is definitely making a compromise on line through outside zone number 3. So not ideal placement from him there. Let's watch this again from the drone. Oh, maybe not.
And we can see the fans here, fans of all ages. The Outlaw's in the building, says it right on his hat. There we are. Talking to his kids, wrapping out. All right, so again, all right, so we're looking at kind of a split decision here. And actually, some people are saying 50, yeah, so okay, scores are in 51%. Stuke, Pawlak 28%, one more time, 21%. Slide him left for Pawlak, right for Daniel Stuke. Gets the win, taking out Justin Pawlak. All right, a man looking for a win is with Laurent Nichols. Daniel Stuke moves on.
Yeah, that's right. So in his top 32 battle against Mike Power, he was given a one more time. So you have another opportunity to clean up some of the mistakes. There was a tire off in outside zone 1. Do you feel like you got that dialed and under control?
Yeah, just a little bit of nerves, top 32 nerves. So go back out there, just do the same thing and just try to make it clean.
Okay, Ryan, thank you so much. So a little bit of nerves, and he's just going to go out and going for a clean battle with Mike Power, guys.
All right, so some great insight there from Ryan Tuerck and Lorette. So Chris Forsberg, again, talking about that championship hunt, going against Ryan Litteral. Ryan Litteral and his RB-powered S chassis. And let's see who comes out on top. That NOS energy drink, all-new Nissan Z. Ryan Litteral with the RB-powered S15, the Power Stop Brakes S15. Chris Forsberg, 3-time champion. Ryan Litteral looking to advance into 16. Flying that RB Army flag. Both these guys on GT radial tires. And here we go. Let's see. Chris Forsberg will lead. Forsberg qualifying 4th. A great qualifying position for him. 98.4 miles per hour comes in that first inside clip. Big wide swing. Ryan Litteral goes off course. And now Forsberg get that POV, that FPV. Goes in that second inside clip. Ryan Litteral into that inside clip. Quite a bit of distance back here. Ryan Litteral shuts it down. Chris Forsberg continues on through the paces. Let's take a look at this. Want to see that overhead view of Chris Forsberg's initiation. You see Ryan Litteral make that attack.
Yeah, Forsberg got back on throttle in the right area, so I don't think it's on Forsberg for this off by Ryan Litteral. So let's look.
So a quick little correction from Forsberg.
But definitely nothing to cause what happened to Ryan in the chase. Forsberg, there was a little bobble there inside clip 1, but he was on throttle. He was back on throttle before the clip. I don't see a problem there with what he did in the lead. And then I guess from that point on, that's an incomplete for Ryan Litteral. But Forsberg did complete the course, no problems there. Yeah, there was just a slight bobble from Forsberg. I think it's just a miscalculation on Ryan's part in the chase position. He tries to get back on throttle, get back on the track, but I think he realizes by that point that he's so far back. He just ripped up at that point, saved his tires for the second run of this battle. Forsberg completes the course. Nice job at outside zone 3. Good line throughout the course.
All right, let's see how it shapes up here. The second part of this run, Ryan Litteral, Power Stop Brakes S15. Looks like they'll whip it right back around and pull to the start line. Ryan Litteral losing some body parts there, but looks like the car's rip roaring ready to go. We'll pop that bumper off. All right, so as we are seeing, Ryan Litteral will lead and Chris Forsberg will give chase. All right, as we are seeing Ryan Litteral, the Power Stop Brakes S15. Chris Forsberg pacing him here on initiation. Let's see what kind of speeds we get out of Ryan Litteral, hitting that 90. Looks like just eclipsed there at 94.6. Pulling those GT radials off the ground into that first outside zone. Transition to the second, and Litteral looks like shuts it down. That's a big correction there. And wide swing around that second. So it's kind of a reinitiation there. Looks like he lost drift on that second outside zone and pulling through the line. But want to get that overhead view, but just with the naked eye, going to that second outside zone, you saw him straighten out, and he was out there, but it's formula drift, not formula drive straight.
It
Take a look.
looked like incredible car control on Forsberg's part. I don't even think Forsberg's straight behind that, but let's watch here as they initiate. You can see Ryan was slightly off of inside clip 1, drops the tire there on outside zone 2, and then straightens, and Forsberg's right there. I bet he was clenching his teeth behind Ryan, but manages to avoid contact with Ryan, mere inches apart there. Great job from Forsberg not making contact with Ryan, but it'll be an incomplete for Ryan in the lead position on run number 2 of this battle.
Taking a look there in the pits, and I believe that is Matt Field. There he is. He's got heat wave chilling out. It's literally what it says on his chest and his glasses. So, and there are the points standings coming into this round of competition. Matt Field leads the pack. You can see the gap there. Just under 50 points separate Field and Frederick Aasbo. And let's take a look. Slide him left for Forsberg, right for Ryan Litteral. And there you have it. Chris Forsberg gets the win in his all-new NOS Energy Drink Nissan Z on GT Radial tires. Ryan Litteral in the Power Stop brakes. GT Radial S15 knocked out. So just a little bit, we'll be seeing Matt Field, again qualifying 20th. Great time of year out here. Fans enjoying it. Again, like I said, just a we've kind of seen all the seasons here except snow. So now that I said that, it might very well snow. it did hail. It did hail. So you saw it. I did. I was sleeping.
I felt it.
Ryan Tuerck versus Mike Power. Here's our one more time battle. Ryan Tuerck, Derry, New Hampshire's own. That Rain-X Toyota Racing GR Corolla against the Mike Power Drift Power Racing Type S S15. Ryan Tuerck again in the hunt for that championship. Mike Power warming up his tires. Ryan Tuerck.
Field was talking earlier about the power being a little bit lower here because of the altitude, and he's looking to bring more power here next year. But that's something that all the drivers are facing that issue, and it has to be something that everybody's contending with. You're putting more grip into the car to go faster, get through the course better, but then the horsepower isn't quite there to make it work. So it's that, like you said, not a lot of practice here, and also no data from this track before. So everybody's learning as they come into this competition.
So many different facets, and that's something that keeps being brought up on a regular basis. Here we go, the one more time battle: Ryan Tuerck versus Mike Power. 99.6, almost 100 miles per hour. Like I said, you got to bring that X factor here. Mike Power had a great second portion of that first battle, but right now Ryan Tuerck seems to be finding that sweet spot. He does go off of that second inside clip, and he needs to be tighter to that, but Mike Power taking a very shallow line. Ryan Tuerck wasn't exact. Oh, there he goes. Want to get that overhead shot. Want to see where Ryan Tuerck was placed on that last outside zone. Getting that really cool FPV. Looks sensational, but we're utilizing many different aspects. And I say we, the judges, not me, but as far as telling the story, let's take a look.
Did you see the gap produced here on the run-up to initiation? The Papadakis could turn the dial up on Ryan's car potentially. At initiation, both cars looking good. Ryan nice and tight on in-clip 1. Better in outside zone 2 than 1 than he was last run. Great on outside zone 2. You can see Mike a little bit off of that. Tuerck pretty good on inside clip 2, could have been a little bit better there, but great job through outside zone 3, and it looks like Mike is just keeping that 5 to 6 car length distance, not able to get any closer. So I think there aren't as many areas of opportunity for Mike Power going into the second run of this battle. Last time he had 3, this time I think he has 1.
Yeah.
That's inside
just
clip.
Better.
Yeah, inside clip number 2 is the only place where he can really do a lot better than Ryan. Maybe Ryan wasn't fully deep in outside zone 1. He was in the zone, he just maybe wasn't all the way deep in it, but overall, great run from Ryan. Mike was just not there, proximity-wise.
And feeding off of that and coming off of that first battle between these guys, forcing it to a one more time. I was talking about not a lot of data about this track, but Ryan Tuerck turning it up. This by no means is his drag racing, but he took Mike Power to Gapplebee's for lunch right now because he turned it up and basically said, hey, here's the seniority coming into play. Not only Ryan Tuerck, Biddies, and his whole team, but also Papadakis Racing. They know this car. This car took, Frederick Aasbo to a championship. So you have to take all these things into consideration, right? And so there's the knowledge wherewithal. I know Scott's over here over my right shoulder, and he's Mike Power's spotter. He knows, different facets and different factors. So a lot of knowledge, not just in the car, but in the pits and in the spotter stand that's being shared, kind of perspective, what's going on. So it's all great insight.
Yes. Looking forward to this run of battle right here.
There we go. Mike Power will be leading in that Power Drift S15. Ryan Tuerck chasing him down 99, 102 miles per hour. Mike Power talking about, hey, you know what? I don't care how long you've been here. I'm going to try to disrupt. Mike Power transitions into that second outside zone. Ryan Tuerck tries to dive in. Is he too aggressive? Let's take a look at this here on that second outside zone, going and approaching that final outside zone. Ryan Tuerck goes off course. And Ryan Tuerck explodes. Going to that third outside zone. Let's make sure he's okay.
Oof.
He did get into that tire wall.
That was unexpected.
Let's just lay out and make sure he's okay. Make sure we get thumbs up. Can we see in the car there? Ryan is moving. Hey, round of applause for Ryan Tuerck and Mike Power, please. So Ryan Tuerck, what went wrong going into that final outside zone, transitioning from that inside clip? Did it get lost in the smoke? I mean, it was just interesting how it just straightened out.
So there's something weird with his steering here that we noticed right away, and we just kind of confirmed on our big replay screen that we have here. As he's coming into the transition, you still see his wheels are turned left. He never counter steers the car.
It's like it went straight.
So, yeah, I'm not sure if there was a power steering issue. So let's watch on the replay here. I don't know if we'll be able to catch it, depending on the view that we get on this live stream view.
So outside zone 1.
Yeah, you can see outside zone 1 there. 2's right there. Mike Power did make a little mistake there, but Tuerck soaked it up really well, kept going. Watch his front wheel here. See how it still turned really, really late. So I don't know if it's a combination of being lost in the smoke and just not counter steering, but he ended up going really wide there and not getting the car rotated quickly enough to get to outside zone 3. And it could just be being in the smoke right there, put him in the wrong spot. It's a deadly area there to be lost in the smoke with that wall so close on driver's right.
He did step out of the car. The crowd erupted once he got out of the car. So Shannon, he's okay. Roman, he's all right. So he's taken some hard hits over the years. Another round of applause for Ryan Tuerck, if you could. Ryan Tuerck, Toyota Racing, GR Corolla, brought to you by Rain-X, of course. He's on Nitto tires. And fortunately, he did hit the tire wall section. You know, more of a, I have to assume, just a bruised ego at this point. Let's, you know, this is the second portion of this run. A verdict will need to be called. You know, all signs are saying that Mike Power will get the victory here. There was nothing totally out of character of what Mike Power did in the lead position to throw Ryan Tuerck either into this major mistake and then eventually going in. But taking a look at, let's slide him left for Ryan Tuerck or right for Mike Power, and the verdict is in. Mike Power gets the win. He advances on. He takes out Ryan Tuerck. Controlled chaos has turned into not so controlled chaos. Chaos just in the pure fact of the matter. So Ryan Tuerck, a contender, piloting that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla. Looks like it will leave under its own power. Look at that. Ryan Tuerck, always a crowd favorite, but right now, he is definitely a bruised ego. So very unfortunate turn of events.
We have a bit of cleanup to perform here.
Yeah, we have the maid surfaces out there, quite a bit of gravel, the tire wall, some signage. So, man, Type S elevated, top 32. We are here in the Rockstar Energy Drink, top 32, and one of the Rockstar pilots, Ryan Tuerck, goes into the wall, leaves under his own power. We'll clean up here, but again, talking about that controlled chaos, the series teaser, if you haven't seen it, it's available now at Rockstar Energy Drink's YouTube page, and here it is featuring Ryan Tuerck and Frederick Aasbo. We'll be right back.
The feeling of drifting a car sideways, it is the ultimate form of car control.
It's the calm before the storm, and it's about to go down. It's going to be a dogfight.
And clean start, here we go.
You take that breath and you kind of hold it for one split second, and then let's go, let's do this.
I think what the judges want is an all-out battle every single time.
Since I've been doing this for so long and I haven't won a championship, I've come close multiple times. You just got to do one event at a time, one day at a time, but do I want to? No.
Are you ready to send it?
That look on this face right there, that's game time. I'm going to try to take it all.
Look at that, Aasbo. You can't count anybody out. Oh my goodness, holy banana cakes.
Oh my goodness, this will give you massive anxiety.
Jesus Christ, stack up my blood flowing.
It's time to turn it up. We need to stay within striking distance of this championship.
I've won the championship twice now, 2015 and 2021. Going back to back, well, puts me in a very elite club. I think we can do it.
Look at that.
For those who don't settle when others do, who will give everything but won't give up. For those who believe in unlimited while others limit themselves. For those who are set free by performance and believe innovation can take you anywhere.
The first time you try Pedal Commander, you'll feel oh yeah.
The feeling of drifting a car sideways, it is the ultimate form of car control.
It's the calm before the storm, and it's about to go down. It's going to be a dogfight.
And clean start, here we go.
You take that breath and you kind of hold it for one split second. And then let's go, let's do this.
I think what the judges want is an all-out battle every single time.
Since I've been doing this for so long and I haven't won a championship, I've come close multiple times. You just got to do one event at a time, one day at a time, but do I want to? No.
Are you ready to send it?
That look on this face right there, that's game time. I'm going to try to take it all.
Look at that, Aasbo. You can't count anybody out. Oh my goodness, holy banana cakes.
Oh my goodness, this will give you massive anxiety.
Jesus Christ, back up my blood flowing.
It's time to turn it up. We need to stay within striking distance of this championship.
I've won the championship twice now, 2015 and 2021. Going back to back, well, puts me in a very elite club. I think we can do it.
Look at that.
I'm Dylan Hughes, Formula Drift Pro Driver, and today we're going to talk about Royal Purple HPS and what actually goes into it. There's a lot of talk about additives, and Royal Purple has its proprietary Centerlick technology. It is fortified with a high level of zinc phosphorus anti-wear additive for exceptional protection against heat and wear. Its high film strength improves sealing between the piston ring and cylinder wall for maximum horsepower and torque. Royal Purple HPS, race car technology for the street.
What's up everybody, Chris Forsberg here, round 7, Formula Drift, Utah, brand new track, brand new facility for us, and we are doing the BC Racing Clip Tip, as this is one of the more challenging tracks. It looks very simple, we got some high-speed corners, however, with it being such large, constant radius corners, it's very easy to make a mistake and have that bobble and lose your battle. So today I'd like to focus on the final clipping zone, which is outer zone 3. It's right on the edge of the dirt, very easy to put your tire off, kick up some dirt, and get yourself a deduction from the judges. It's also slightly banked, so it has a lot more grip than it looks. So you have drivers that are coming in and being a little shallow on that zone and just leaving the door wide open for the chase car to come right up and push them into getting their win. So it's very challenging. You got to leave that exclamation point on the run and push through to get the win. Outer zone 3, I think, is the most difficult one of this course. And this has been your BC Racing Clip Tip.
All right, looks like we're still got some maid service out here. Leave a little mint on the pillow, ready to thrash it. Well, Laurent Nickel is with Chris the Force Forsberg.
Yeah, Jared, thank you very much. Chris and I were just talking about this whole event and the track specifically. How is it setting up?
Well, it's coming in nice. It was a little damp, little green this morning. A lot of guys are struggling with some understeer, but just like I thought, right when top 32 started, sun's out, track's heating up, and we're getting a lot of good runs. However, we're starting to see a lot of guys getting lost in the smoke, Ryan Tuerck being the most recent, and that was like one of the things that we called out this morning, is trying to stay just on the inside. You know, you have to compromise your line just for the visibility to be able to see where you're going. And Ryan, you know, he held on to the turn just a little too long, and when he punched out of it, he was just a little track right. Most of the guys are coming off track left, like a little inside of that last turn, which is a safer bet, but you're going to lose down there anyway, so he went for it.
Is there anything that you can do about that? I heard you earlier talking about counting. There's no muscle memory here yet because this track is brand new for you guys. Is there a way to solve that?
I don't. I know some people try and count it out, but it's difficult because your transition's a slightly different point. People are running a different pace, and I mean, if you think about it, at that speed coming around that radius, even half a second is going to change your trajectory. You know, 10, 20 degrees. And so if you miscount it, the best thing you can do is just look for anything you can see on the car in front of you and or the track to understand where you're placed.
Right. Is the smoke blindness heavier here than at other tracks?
Yeah, I think because it's such a constant radius, and so if you don't land in the perfect spot, that second turn it feels a little off camber. So when you're coming around that inner clip, if the lead car is tight on it and you floated or tap the brakes a little bit coming into it, and you just start to fade behind them and get on that wider radius, you're in the dead zone. So we've seen it happen multiple times, and we're going to see it a couple more times today, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And so as we look forward towards the end, we don't want to rush this event or anything, but as we start looking towards the end of the 22 season, you're currently sitting in 4th in the championship hunt. What is the strategy moving forward for you?
I mean, we're super happy with, you know, the all-new Z has been performing excellent. The crew is on it. We only had one kind of rough event this year with engine complications, but outside of that, we've been on the podium 3 times, and we're sitting 4th, pushing for that top 3 overall. I think we can do it, which would be a fantastic debut for a brand new chassis, even with, you know, a new venue like Utah. And, you know, this track is amazing. It's fast, it's glorious, it looks beautiful, so we're hoping to have a good weekend here.
All right. It is glorious. It is beautiful out here. We love here this Salt Lake track. Chris, thanks so much, guys.
All right, there it is. So talking with Chris Forsberg, talking about trying to get to that top 3 spot. Debuting a new car, that's always kind of, you know, uncharted territory. Speaking of uncharted territory, thank you to Utah Motorsports Campus, a great venue, cleaning up there and have been accommodating. So it's great to come out to a new venue and always be welcomed with open arms. But you can see our past champions there. Would love to see James Dean back in the mix, man. Would love to get him. I mean, anybody like, you know, Daigo Saito and, you know, Reese, Sam, Tanner. Look at those names. Vaughn Gittin Jr. We just launched the all-new Ford Mustang on Wednesday, and I don't know if you saw it, but
you're looking good in that leather jacket, Jared.
Oh, dude. Yeah, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Speaking of looking good, shout out to Vicky up in Canada. Shout out to Vicky. I know she just sent you a message and she's watching, so shout out to Vicky. Get better soon, and thank you for the note.
Yeah, we miss you. I hope we can get up to Canada to visit soon.
Can you say that in French for me?
J'espère que je vais être capable de te visiter bientôt au Canada.
Wodole. That's Spanish. Chelsea Denofa versus Michael Essa. We were intended to see Odi Bakshis and Federico Sciarrifo, but Fedi in Fiorella, his signature Ferrari, he called competition timeout. I know he got into the wall earlier in practice, so I think he's given himself ample amount of time or just as much time as he possibly can. So we're advancing on to Denofa and Essa. Speaking of a former champ, Michael Essa piloting the FCP Euro Liquid Moly Bilstein Shocks BMW. And then Chelsea Denofa qualified 5th behind the wheel of that Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5D on Nitto tires. And unfortunately, his RTR teammate Adam LZ did not qualify in top 32. Here we go. This is Chelsea Denofa coming down out of the chute. Let's see how Michael Essa chases him down. Big angle there, 103.6, the fastest speed we've seen, pulling that front left off the ground into that first outside zone, transitioning through. Here comes Michael Essa on the attack in the second outside zone, but does take a shallow line. Holy cow. Hitting switches. Look at that. Now that final outside zone goes Chelsea Denofa. Turn it to 11, and we talked about this kind of in the open. We feel like this track will suit Chelsea Denofa's style. Proof positive right there.
Yeah, that wide open, full throttle. I think maybe Mike Essa straightened completely behind Chelsea Denofa here going to outside zone 2. So let's have a look. Great job, both of them in outside zone number 1. Outside zone 2, watch Mike Essa right here. No smoke, completely straight, gets back on throttle. That looks like a mechanical problem to me. I am not sure. So let's look. Inside clip number 1. Outside zone number 1, beautiful job by both. Outside zone 2, right there. Yeah, that is a big problem for Mike Essa through there. He misses inside clip 2 after reinitiating, but that'll be an incomplete from him. That is one of those serious straightens that we cannot overlook. That is not one that we can say, you know, that was just a little one. Yeah, it was a huge loss of drift there. That was no throttle, no power going to the wheels. So again, I don't know if the car turned off or he had a mechanical issue or what, but
look at that pulling. Look at how much, talking about Gapplebees, but he's gapping, hitting switches, man. I'm telling you, that's pretty G. Those Nitto tires are hooking up. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, those front tires only have to do half the lap each.
Exactly.
Transition this way, then up.
Yep. Yeah, looking like Thriller, right? You know when Thriller goes like this? Side to
Yeah,
side?
same.
Yeah. All right, so Michael Essa will now lead. He makes his way back to the start line. Like you said, was there mechanical? What's going on?
He's just going all the way back. So that may have been a mechanical issue. He's calling a competition timeout.
We calling a comp timeout here. As Michael Essa just heads back, maybe needs to turn it up, maybe having a mechanical issue, but we will see. We will find out. And I know, you know, we saw Essa at Pikes Peak International Raceway, partied with him in Jabay at Grid Life, seeing some steam, some smoke, something's coming out from the back. As we overlook that FCP Euro Liquid Moly BMW, taking a look back at this run, very sensational run, 103.6 miles per hour on initiation. Yeah, and there's that straightening, loss of drift, let's call it that.
Yes.
Loss of drift, let's use that terminology. And into that final outside zone, you can see Essa just comes up a bit short, and obviously just a little too late for the former champ of Michael Essa. All right, not seeing hands on the car.
Hammer.
But I'm assuming so. Coming over. Oh, Mike. We got shifter issues or handbrake issues. And we've seen that and heard of that before, yanking on that handbrake. So, and yeah, so the NGK competition timeout has started. So Essa, you could see him working on the car. So it's within the cockpit. It's not the engine. So I could see that, right? I mean, maybe, you know, goes and throws and tries to initiate into that second outside zone and failure to launch or failure to drift. So
yeah, that could be
the handbrake. Oh man, something, you know, what's unfortunate is that's obviously something tactile as opposed to mechanical. I guess you want it that, but in the heat of battle, you definitely don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. If you're behind a car and you go to grab the handbrake to set the car, to slow down, whatever it is, and all of a sudden the handbrake's in your hand, but it's not connected to anything anymore, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. All right, so we'll keep an eye on this, see if he could replace that handbrake. Yeah, it broke off, getting some insight from his spotter as well as the Rat Nickel. We'll move on to Love and Hole. I just love how, like, the visual, the names, it just looks like we're at Yellowstone right now. We got Love and Hole. I can't quit you. Everybody needs a little love. And they got some right here. Courtesy of the Jasper Keys BMW going against that Comp Cams.
Look at
Wild Willie's Corvette. Yeah, that's a deep set right there.
It's a deep set. He wants to really keep an eye on Love ahead of him.
a little pace right there from Taylor Hull. Full pull Hull going to chase down Mr. Josh Love.
It's paying off for him.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that pace. Nice initiation there from Love out front. He works his way into that first outside zone. Let's see how they transition to the second outside zone. You saw Taylor Hull back off, give himself a bit of room, but that doesn't set him up properly for that second outside zone. Let's see how they handle the final one. Staying under that smoke trail. Josh Love barely dipping that back right wheel in. And Taylor Hull. So again, the depth into some of those zones and some of the execution on those inside clips on either side, leaving a little bit of opportunity for either driver. Let's take a look of, and it looks like Essa, his team rolling around. Essa still thrashing on that thing. Hopefully they get it done. Just under 3 minutes left.
There was a bit of a stepped initiation from Hull in the chase, and then it looked like he wasn't as deep in outside zone 1. So let's see that initiation there. He gets a little bit more angle later on. Love definitely drops the tire there in outside zone 1, and then Hull transitions earlier than Love did. Puts him on a bit of a tighter line through outside zone 2, and his timing is off through that area. So he falls off a little bit, but manages to get back into proximity. He's a little tighter on line though. Did make some compromises to get there. So we're gonna have to watch that again just to look at what happened with Love in the lead position, where he's placing his car, and then how Hull is anticipating what's going on.
All right, let's find out what's going on. Lorette, what's cooking down there?
Well, guys, so you can see Michael Essa through the car. His handbrake broke, and they're having some problems with the master cylinder as well. So there is, oh my gosh, can you see this right now? They are trying to cut the handbrake. I'm also trying to get a view in here, but Michael Essa is still in his car. He hasn't left, and they are trying to fix this in 1:29. That's what's left. So 3 bodies in the car right now. Actually, we have 4 bodies in the car right now. So we have 1:15 left on this competition timeout.
Thank you so much, Lorette. Thank you for the insight down there on the ground. Lorette Nickel, another member of our broadcast team. Here we go. Taylor Hull now out front, gets the clean air. Let's see how the vet handles this. And Taylor Hull coming, initiating big sweep. Josh Love going for that straight line approach. And that Jasper Keys BMW, the Comp Camps Edelbrock vet now in that first outside zone, transition into the second. So a little wobble there from both of the drivers. Tight on that inside clip. Look at Taylor Hull just knocking it out of the way. Josh Love, nasty transition. But Taylor Hull, you can see him getting right in that crease. Well done by Taylor Hull in that last outside zone. Josh Love, gangster flick in, but I don't think it got as deep as the lead driver. Essa throws on his spectacles, and the handbrake, like Lorette was saying, we got 4 people in there, and we are down to mere seconds. Looks like Essa should be, I would hope, he's going to be pulling up to the line, but you got to keep in mind he does have that deficit. Looks like there he goes. All right, sweet, that's great. Congratulations to Essa and his team getting the car back together. FCP Euro. Look at them all at BMW. Let's take a look at the eye in the sky.
All right, so we looked at the replay again a little bit closer of the first run, and it looks like Love went way deep in 2, was way too long on 2, but look at Hull here. Really nice line in the lead position. This is how the line should be run by the lead driver, so we can kind of excuse some of the errors that Hull made on his chase run originally based on the mistakes that Love was making. Now you see Hull putting his car in all the right places, and Love has a much better opportunity to put together a good chase run. So in reality, Love didn't give Hull much of an opportunity to put together a good chase run on run number 1, but now we've got a much better run from Hull in the lead, and we've got a much cleaner chase, of course, because it had a much better lead to follow.
All right, let's get the verdict here between Hull and Love. See what's going on here. Slide them left for Love, right for Hull. And we got 1, 2, and 3 votes for Taylor Hull. Unfortunately, Josh Love knocked out the Jasper Keys BMW.
Yeah, to explain that a little bit, the
lead
please. Drivers have a lot of emphasis on them to run a 100-point lead run. And in that case, the way that Love went off track, it was confirmed 2 tires off in outside zone number 1, and then stayed out wide way past the end of outside zone 1. Taylor Hull in the chase position is expecting that lead driver to transition at the spot that he expects, you know, every lead driver to transition. And because Love made that error in the lead position, it put Taylor Hull in a really bad position there, and he didn't have an opportunity to put together a good chase.
All right, so we are seeing a lone vehicle on the start line, and Ryan, you brought up earlier, no buy runs. We had a full field of 32, but unfortunately with Federico Sharifo going to the wall earlier in practice, his team calling that NGK competition timeout, but not enough time to fix the vehicle. So what this means, Odi Bakshis is going to get a buy run, and he'll be going against Chris Forsberg in that of the top 16, the Royal Purple top 16. So lay back and listen to the Vortec Supercharged V8 Falcon tires, field suspension, S chassis. Odi Bakshis again gets the win and gets a buy run here to advance on into the 16. Lay out and listen. Just wound up. Again, I don't think we're seeing insane speeds, but you know what? Okay, 97.8 NBD. Kids don't try this at home. Listen.
Nice to meet you, Jared. I'm Alex.
All right, as we get prepared for the second half of the battle that is Essa and Denofa, I have a special guest here, Alex Martinez. Alex Martinez, you're here to represent Tuerck Drift.
Yes, sir.
And if you could explain what Tuerck Drift is for those that don't know.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Tuerck Drift is a video game kind of based, it's based between Japan and America. It's taking a look at FD USA, FD Japan. It puts you right dead center into the professional experience of both as a race car driver, but something that's a little bit different is it places a little bit of heritage, gives you a little bit more of a storyline in terms of the drifting culture. And then at night, you also get to experience street battles. So you get to build your car, modify it. Really takes a little bit of a different approach to enjoying video games and drifting.
Awesome. And then what platforms is Tuerck Drift available on? Because for those that don't know.
It's going to be available pretty much on every primary platform, especially Tuerck Drift 2 as that continues to get released from month to month. We're kind of dropping little tidbits and teasers throughout the next couple of months, but you can expect a full release between 23 and 24.
Awesome. Hold on tight, because you're going to actually hang out here in the booth. And don't feel like you got to announce here, but we got the second half of this battle. Michael Essa, Chelsea Denofa. That handbrake broke off. It looks like it's working now, as now Michael Essa wraps around that second inside clip. Here comes Chelsea Denofa, who had a phenomenal, oh, look at this, as Chelsea Denofa goes to that final outside zone. Let's see if he can hang tough here with Michael Essa now pulling across that finish line. And Alex, as we take a look, this is this battle here is going to close out the first half of our top 32. Again, want to wrap out with you about Tuerck Drift and what you have to offer, you know, in regards to bringing the real life, as you say, Formula Drift US, Japan into the game. But I'm going to walk us through here. Have you always been a drift fan, or is this kind of something new for you? I mean, video game, cars, all of it?
It's always been a good sport. I love making cars unreliable, and drifting's just another fun way to break.
Unreliable?
Oh, absolutely, man.
Oh, come on.
You barely know what you're doing when you're building it in the garage, but that's how you learn.
Exactly, right. All right, so again, you can see Michael Essa there filling that outside zone. Chelsea Denofa back there a little bit, but again, Michael Essa had that big correction on that first portion of that battle, you know, in run one. So as slide him left for Denofa, right for Michael Essa, and again, unfortunately, too little, too late for Essa. Chelsea Denofa gets the win and advances on in his Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5 on Nitto tires. So let's elaborate further on Tuerck Drift, because Tuerck Drift, you say there's been a first iteration and then Tuerck Drift 2. When is that coming out, you said?
So Tuerck Drift 2 is going to get released as we go further into 23 and 24.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, it's looking pretty sharp. Dream car right there. But really taking a new viewpoint on physics, new viewpoint on audio design, really diving into really what makes it fun to drift and actually feel the experience in a video game, because you know how hard that is. I can't even imagine doing it, but it's a crazy cool new iteration to how we look at drifting in a video game without actually taking anything too crazy on itself. It really is trying to be something unique, different, and an original storyline.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of video games, but you know, again, put it in the palm of your hand. You know, not having to go to a platform or all these different things. But overall, Tuerck Drift. And who do you think is going to get the win today? I'm just going to
You can't put me on the spot like that.
I gotta do it.
All right,
Come on,
well,
man. I mean, if you said you're about it.
I know. I got a personal, love with Mike Power. So hopefully he can do something crazy. Maybe Rookie of the Year come through. Maybe have some fun out there. I'm really excited to see what he can continue to do.
All right. So where can more people learn about Tuerck Drift, Tuerck Drift 2? What's going on? What you got cooking? Where's all the info at?
Yeah, you can go check out the old social channels, tuerckmotorsport.io on Instagram and website and all that sort of good stuff, man.
Awesome. My son loves it, and everybody loves it. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate
man.
your time. Obviously, appreciate Tuerck Drift support of the Formula Drift Championship, so be sure to download Tuerck Drift and look out Tuerck Drift Dose. That's Tuerck Drift 2. Thank you so much, Mr. Alex Martinez. Are we going to see you at Irwindale?
Oh, absolutely.
Sweet.
See you there, man.
Later, brother.
Thank
you so much for your time. All right, this is how the top 16 bracket is shaping up from 32 to 16. We're already halfway through, and we're going right into it. Dylan Hughes, our winner in Orlando, the very wet Orlando, as we are excited to, again, advance on and see who is getting the win. Is it Trent Beechum, the Frankenstang? That Mustang, well, guess what? Has an LS under the hood. Dylan Hughes, he's got a 2J under the hood of his BMW. So different engines, different power plants. So you got a BMW, you got a Toyota, you have a Chevy, and you got a Ford on track with just 2 cars. Given the hearts and the chassis, and then you throw a couple Americans behind the wheel, we got a good time. Here we go. Dylan Hughes will lead. Dylan Hughes qualified second. Great qualifying for him in this fast orange Permatex BMW E46. Here we go into that first inside clip and see how he handles it. Trent Beechum, little wide swing into the first inside clip. Now to that second outside zone. Approaching the second inside. Ooh, Trent Beechum aggressive. Getting to the side of Dylan Hughes. Trent Beecham qualifying 31st, but man, he's looking like he qualified first right now. Beecham has the proximity, great proximity from Beecham, flirting with the side of that BMW. So let's get that overhead view. And again, shout out to the dozer, Dylan Hughes, qualifying second on Thursday's qualifying.
All right, coming up to initiation, you see Beecham nice and close, really keeping that proximity all the way to initiation. As they initiate, good job from both drivers here, getting by inside clip 1. Beecham just slightly off of outside zone 1. Better job through outside zone 2 as he follows Hughes' good line through there. Nice and tight on inside clip 1 by Hughes. And right here, outside zone 3, you can see Trenton's, he has the proximity, but he doesn't have the line. He's making a sacrifice there on line to maintain that proximity. And again, what we really want is the back of the cars to be more along the same line, but you can see there that they're almost nose to nose through outside zone 3. Almost, pretty much equivalent there for the majority of outside zone 3. Backs off just a little bit at the finish line. Like to see better positioning with the proximity through the majority of the course.
All right, so let's pull him back up to the start line. Look at the kid of the sombrero down there. He's a happy-go-lucky fella. How we doing? Yeah, my man. Wearing that camo bucket hat. But your homeboy, what's he doing? He's just cranking buds, just looking at his phone? All right. What's going on, man? Are we not entertaining you? Are you not entertained, bro? You got to look at your phone? Come on, man. Put that thing down. Focus on the family that is Formula Drift. There we go. All right, back to the start line with Trenton Beecham now leading. Dylan the Dozer Hughes will chase him down. Trenton Beecham would love to take down a winner in Orlando, which Ryan Sage, president of Formula Drift, and I agree that that was the most bonkers Formula Drift round we've ever been part of in Orlando. Lightning striking. We had to bail out of the bleachers a couple times. We saw torrential rain. It was insane. But right now, they're going to make it rain. Some tire debris. Here we go. Trent Beecham throws in 102 out front. And Trent Beecham dials it in that first clip. Here comes Dylan Hughes surging an attack. But Trent Beecham, I'll tell you what, this looks like a total different Beecham from what we saw in qualifying to now when it goes to head-to-head. Coming to that outside zone. You can see Trent Beecham started really strong in that outside zone. Let's get that aerial view. I think that's going to be a good opportunity. But man, Trenton's initiation 102. That was aggressive. That was solid.
Yeah, and
Beecham damn near killed him.
He only had one little issue, and I think it was just after initiation going inside clip 1. So let's watch the replay here. You see Dylan nice and close with him right there. You can see his car loses a little bit of angle, does get close to inside clip 1, but maybe early apexes it a little. He leaves outside zone 2 early, but manages to draw a pretty decent line by inside clip 1, sort of early apexes that as well. As he goes to outside zone number 3, you can see his tire in the box, leaves it about halfway through that zone, but pretty decent job from both drivers. Just a couple of errors here and there. Outside zone 2 here, leaving it early can put you on a bit of a weird line, and you can see right there, he barely touches the beginning of that line leading up to the inside clip 2, but manages to make it through. Maybe not as clean as Dylan's lead though, but good job from him. A big change throughout the season for him. We saw a lot of saw some mechanical errors, mechanical issues I should say, that led to some driving errors throughout the season, but it looks like the car's really working well now. He's got it focused in and laying down some good laps.
Yeah, really excited to see what Trent Beechum would do. And let's see, slide him left for Dylan Hughes and right for Trent Beechum. It was unanimous. What was the standout moment for you, or kind of like you say, those mechanicals and what's going on? What are your thoughts, and why did Dylan absolutely get the dominance here?
Yeah, I think it was just cleaner, and he had a more consistent chase as well. Better positioning. He followed the line more accurately. His proximity was maybe a half car length further away, but he was on line better, so he was mimicking what he was doing in the lead position there. Yeah, what Beechum was doing.
Okay, let's move on to our next battle. Dean Kearney versus Travis Reeder, another victor, and that was in New Jersey. We saw Travis Reeder come out on top, and that was just an electric victory, and it's something so cool that we've enjoyed this year. The variety of drivers, and take into consideration, here we are in round 7, so we have 6 previous rounds. It all culminates in Irwindale, and we've seen 6 different winners, and one of which has not been a winner is our current points leader, Matt Field. So that's what's really, really interesting in regards to that. There's Chelsea Denofa. He's sitting 5th and advancing into the top 16. And keep in mind, with Ryan Tuerck going out, that's got to be really detrimental to the championship, or obviously good for Chelsea Denofa with Ryan Tuerck going out early in 32. Right now, Dean Kearney, the Hyper NFT.io Dodge Viper, going against Travis Reeder. He's saying hello to everybody over there at the local Walmart. Travis Reeder, let's throw it down. That Reeder Motorsports, Link ECU, BMW. All right, ooh, big aggressive initiation by Dean Kearney, but way overshooting it, overcooking it. And that, unfortunately for Dean Kearney, that's going to be an incomplete because obviously way off course. And for Reeder, that will be an automatic major advantage for him.
Yeah, that was a chase car following the rules, following what we tell them all the time. If the lead car goes somewhere, you follow them there. Reeder just followed him right off track, stayed with him, mimicked his angle. Everything was perfect.
All right, well, as these guys reset, let's throw it down to Lorette Nickel, who's with Chelsea Denofa.
So Chelsea just came off of the track, and some things you're trying to still dial this track in, it seems like.
Yeah, absolutely. My lead run was the best of the weekend. I needed that for qualifying, but I was telling the team, I'm like, 5 weeks ago when we started looking at this track and planning it, that's the lap I had in mind, so it was perfect lead lap. And then in the chase, I just misjudged the entry and entered too early behind him, and he rolled away from me. And I just tried to catch up so I wouldn't get the unchaseable lead, like it was, or not unchaseable lead, inactive chase. And it was just hard. I just tried to catch up the best I could without getting stuck in the smoke.
So how do you take from that and make sure that that doesn't happen in the future battles for you?
Drive harder.
There we go. There's the most simple answer from Chelsea Denofa. Guys.
Thank you so much, Lorette. Drive harder. And like you said, just, inactive chase. We don't want to see that, but I mean, we called it out, man. That was an absolute gangster lead run there by Chelsea Denofa. The smile says it all. His attitude seems to, and we talked about this earlier this year when was that in Seattle? He got the victory, right? Got the win in Seattle.
Yeah.
He got the win in Seattle, and it came down to his mindset and just having fun, and that seemed to be like his attitude. He said, he's focusing so much on victory, performance, results, all these things. Just have fun. And it's amazing that mental mindset, how it plays a role.
Yes. So I asked around a bit, and apparently Dean Kearney's initiation speed was 104.9.
Holy cow.
Pretty high initiation speed. He's been sitting for a while now, right? Because the practice ended quite a while ago, and that was the last time he was on the track. So you're coming out here working off of muscle memory, track memory, like, okay, I got to initiate by here, and my speed's this, and so a couple of factors are off there. You end up shooting straight off the track.
Yep. All right, here we go. So Travis Reeder sits on a major advantage, and he gets the clean air. Dean Kearney really needs to step it up here, 97.4 miles per hour. Again, not a unit of measure and not a judge criteria, but just obviously it's pretty amazing speeds, and then throwing it sideways. So Travis Reeder on that second inside clip. Dean Kearney, whoa, big wide swing. Now Travis Reeder gets it into that final outside zone. And Dean Kearney brings it across, but no major mistakes from Travis Reeder. Some opportunity there, but with Dean Kearney out of the gate going off course, that's a major advantage for Reeder and that Link ECU BMW.
Yeah, I think there was a little bobble from Reeder at inside clip 1, but nothing that would constitute an incomplete or anything like that. But pretty clean run from him. You can see there a couple of, right there, a little bit of a bobble, but overall nothing that would cause any concern. His trunk was off before the run started, so we don't have to worry about anything unlatchable in that case. But yeah, it was a smooth, clean run overall from Travis Reeder in the lead position. Dean Kearney was there. He was in the chase, you know, but unfortunately with that 4 wheels off, incomplete on his lead run, pretty hard to overcome.
Slide him left for Dean Kearney, right for Travis Reeder. You know the outcome here, unfortunately, for Dean Kearney in the HyperNFT.io Viper. Travis Reeder moves on. That Link ECU, Radium Engineering, BMW. Congratulations, Travis Reeder. He'll advance on 16. And Reeder took down E-Town, there's his name, earlier this year, round 4, you could see, but this is what we were talking about, the variety of drivers. You know, you're seeing a former champ get a victory, only one champion amongst those. And we talked about Ryan Tuerck, getting that victory, but unfortunately, big crash earlier. He is okay. And talking to Pat Gentile, he was saying that kind of came at an angle, it looked worse than it actually was detrimental to the chassis, but once you start inspecting it, breaking it down, stripping it down, we'll see what happens. We'll see him at Irwindale. But right now, Travis Reeder, happy man right now. He's moving on, but he'll be going against his buddy, Dylan Hughes. Again, those guys always see battle. All right, let's see what we got here. The OG, Ken Gushi, the original Gushi, baby, going against Kyle Mohan. And he's been competing since, I believe, 2005 it is. Kyle Mohan, the lone rotary for all you rotary fans out there. The renewable lubricants, Mazda Tricks, Mazda RX-8. And it looks like Ken Gushi will lead. Ken Gushi qualified 7th, Mohan qualified 26th. And Ken Gushi debuting this car in Atlanta, the Threes Racing Mahdi's Toyota GR86. He's running a V6 engine, basically out of like a Tacoma or an FJ Cruiser. So pretty cool to see a very unique build. It sounds very unique, and of course, 2 very unique sounding vehicles, given that we got some Winkles out there on track. All right, Ken Gushi initiates into that inside clip. Kyle Mohan in tow. Into that first outside zone transition, into the second. Let's see what Mohan's got now into that inside clip. Goes Gushi and Mohan. Down to the final outside zone. Both of them. Ooh, and Mohan initiates. He's on the wrong side of the outside zone. Mohan. He is on the wrong side of that clip. So that will be basically incomplete in that chase position.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for Mohan. He was doing decent up until that point. Let's take a look with Eye and Sky.
Yeah, you can see there as Gushi gets his positioning in the run-up to initiation, gets the car to angle. Kyle Mohan's right there with him. Good job on inner clip 1. Mohan misses outside zone 1. Better job in zone 2. Gushi's filling it nicely. Nice and tight on inside clip 2. And right here, Mohan may have got lost in the smoke as he transitions. He drops the tire in the dirt on the right side of the track, and then it just sort of pulls him off as his line was taking him that way. He wasn't able to get the car around that corner and ends up going off basically on the pit entrance road. No harm, no foul physically to the car, didn't hit anything. Everything's fine there, but just got himself back on track. But unfortunately, that'll be an incomplete for Kyle Mohan in the chase position.
Let's alternate the order here as they head back up to the start line. We will see Kyle Mohan leading, but another scenario similar to what we saw with Dean Kearney, just with that that disadvantage. Oh boy, look at these hot boys. Yo. Okay, zero chill, but right now, that is Matt Field's team looking on as he is our next battle. Matt Field would be going against Rome Charpentier, and Rome Charpentier has again gained a lot of traction, but Matt Field is our points leader. But right now, they're so sitting on deck. He is in the batting circle. The Beast from the Bay, our current points leader, is up next. Right now, there's Rome Charpentier, the Garagistic BMW. Right now, all eyes are on Mohan and Gushi. Who's advancing on? Let's see Mohan, 94, almost 95 miles an hour on that inside clip. Looks like Gushi doesn't exactly get tight to that inside clip. Now into that second outside zone, zeroing in on the second inside clip. Mohan wraps around it, Gushi barely nudges it over. Let's see how they handle this last outside zone. Whoa, and that's gonna be, unfortunately, we talked about this in the driver's meeting. Mechanical issue shuts it down before the finish line. And all right, the Momo suited and booted, gloves and seats as we spoke about helmet paintings yesterday. He's rocking that PBK helmet, big MF on the side, 777. Signature Falcon tire livery, but right now, just make it official. You know the outcome. The Goosh, Ken Gushi, the OG, gets the win, knocking out Kyle Mohan and his renewable lubricants Mazda Trix RX-8s. The signature Heatwave palm tree on that back left tail light. The forged stars on the corners, wrapped in Falcon tires. It's the Federal pilot. That is Kyle Mohan, makes his way back. Big battle here. Big battle. This is a big one because you got to think about the points gap. You know, where is Matt Field going to sit after he wins this? Does he advance on? Who's going to put him to stop? Is he taking all the way? Because going into Irwindale, there could be a Grand Canyon of a gap of points, considering Ryan Tuerck is knocked out. Chelsea's still in it. So is Frederick Aasbo. Chris Forsberg still in it. But, oh, man. Oh,
conspiracy
did you just put on your tinfoil hat here?
Yeah.
Look at Rome's horsepower, 777. And then Matt Field's number, 777. Oh,
what does
man.
it all mean?
We need to go to the casino.
Bet on 7.
Let it ride. Rome Charpentier, a finalist in Englishtown, came up just a bit short to Travis Reeder, but that's what I was talking about, just gaining a lot of eyeballs, a lot of impressions, and a real contender in competition. There is Matt Field, that Falcon tires, Drift Cave, Orla exhaust. And keep in mind, Rome Charpentier, who's on the line, he will lead because he qualified, he bested Matt Field because Rome qualified 10th, Matt Field qualified 23rd.
Yeah, that must be one of the lower qualifying scores for Matt Field this season. So it'll be an interesting path.
What does, I don't know, I don't know if that favors him, helps him, hurts him, but you know, you got Aasbo, Tuerck, and Forsberg and Denofa. Yeah, Aasbo, Forsberg, and Denofa on the left side. Obviously Tuerck is not there, but on the right side, you know, no real championship contenders on the right side of the bracket.
Right.
So he might meet them in the final, you know, pending on, he's got to get through Rome first.
Yeah.
Task at hand.
Exactly.
One battle at a time. And that was his interview with Lorette Nichols saying like, hey, you know, humble yourself. You know, he says, hey, you're, you know, maybe down to horsepower. Here we go. This is a big battle right here. Rome Charpentier will lead Garagistic BMW, like I said, second in E-Town. Matt Field has yet to win an event, but he currently leads the championship. Come to that first inside clip. Both of them wrap around it. Approach that first outside zone, now into the second outside zone. Rome dialing it in. See a little handbrake pull, and then looks like Matt Field center punching that second inside clip. Now coming to that final outside zone. How are they going to handle it? Rome Charpentier gets all the way out there. Matt Field comes up just a bit short. So I'll tell you what, a good lead run by Rome Charpentier. You know, you're kind of looking at both vehicles, where they're at, analyze it. What'd you see, Ryan?
Well, I saw a couple of errors from Matt Field. So let's look at the replay and confirm what we saw in the live version. Nice and tight on inside clip. Number 1, both pretty good on outside zone 1, both pretty good on outside zone 2. Field's following him really well. Field center punches that inside clip, so that's the first big mistake that I saw from him. And then right here, Rome, nice and wide and outside zone 1. Field on that tighter line. Field did not get a tire in the box in outside zone 3. but that's what he needs to do in the chase position to show that he is able to mimic what the lead driver's doing. Right here, it looked like Rome may have left outside zone number 2 a little bit early. Matt Field not quite center punches the inside clip, but definitely the right side of that front bumper made contact. And right there is one of the bigger problems with the chase run from Matt Field, and that's missing outside zone number 3 while Rome filled it. So Rome going into the chase position now needs to fill outside zone 3 if Matt does. Just needs to stick it to his door. Field going into the lead needs to run as good as Rome just did, and Rome just put together a really solid lead run. Put his car in all the right places. I think he may have only left outside zone 2 a little bit early, but other than that, really tight on the clips, deep in most of the zones.
Yeah.
So Matt Field has a big run ahead of him here if he wants to stay in contention.
And you know, you're doing a really good job of kind of looking at Rome, looking at Matt. A lot of eyeballs on Matt because, you know, here we are, that Spirit kind of taking down the big dog, but he's still gunning for his first ever championship. He's worked hard to get to this point. So even though there's a lot of eyeballs, a lot of pressure on him, he has yet to win an event. He has yet to win an overall championship, but this is the closest he's been so far. Yeah. And you know, Rome, we haven't really talked about this, how high speed the track is, the wheel speed. They're burning through these tires real quick. So tire attrition is something we really haven't spoken about. So keeping the tire under your car, do you have enough tire to finish it out? Because they're ripping through these, obviously, each battle. Here we go, Matt Field, the Beast of the Bay out front, 777, comes now into 104 miles per hour. He talked about that speed. He said he's down to horsepower, but right now he's absolutely tuned up into that second outside zone. Look at the angle from him. You can see nothing but Falcon tire wrapped around those 4 stars. Now coming down the last outside zone. Filling all of it? Yes, he does. He rides right there. Look at Rome Charpentier. Great proximity from Rome. And he does drop a little tire, but he did not lose drift. He went and drifted across that finish line. A great execution by Rome Charpentier. Now, keep in mind, remember in E-Town how busy Rome was? That gentleman had multiple one more times. He has given it the beans, as they say in the UK. And I'll tell you what, really well done by both the drivers. Matt Field, 104 miles per hour on initiation.
Yeah, so let's look at Matt Field's accuracy in the lead. He has to be as good as Rome was or better. He's off of inside clip 1. He's in the green in outside zone number 1. Great on outside zone 2. You can see that in the chase, Rome is almost doing everything. Matt misses inside clip 2, but does a great job in outside zone number 3. You can see that Rome is doing the exact same thing that Matt did in the chase. He's making a compromise on line right there through zone 3, but Matt missed a couple of key areas there, inside clip 1 and inside clip 2. He was clean on everything else, but on Rome's lead, Rome was tight on everything. The only thing he did was miss the second half of outside zone number 2 in his lead run. So you have to analyze the errors that were made, the successes that both drivers have, and see if there's an advantage in both or at least one of the positions.
Wow, crazy! A really great effort there. You could see the graphic that's on the back of Rome's vehicle. Give moderns hell, and you know, talks. He's piling that E36. So here is our BC Racing Go for Gold side-by-side replay. Again, also United States Air Force replay.
All right, as you watch the initiation, look at where both drivers are at inside clip 1. Nice and tight is Rome, off is Matt Field. Both a good job on outside 1. Rome left zone 2 a little early. Field filled it better. Field was tighter, or sorry, Rome was tighter on inside clip 2. Field was off a little bit. And then right there, Rome has better proximity, even though they're both making a compromise on outside zone number 2. Now, in the chase position, you have to look at who did a better job there. This is a tough one.
This is really tough, and a lot of pressure on the judges, you know, just overall. But let's take a look. I believe we got all judges' input. Where are my Matt Field fans at? One more look here. Look at Matt Field. Again, championship implications here. You saw the gap. So, and, you know, taking a look at this, he's trying. All right, so taking a look at this, just the analyzation here. And let's score it here. You know, just really splitting hairs. So slide them left for Rome, right for Matt Field, and we got, again, our current points leader. The pressure mounts. Left for Rome, right for Matt Field. And that's a one more time across the board. One more time. And Ryan, you know, it was, they had mistakes in different portions of the track.
Yes.
And I liked it overall. Chris, do you want to say anything? Let's throw it over to Chris Ewell. Chris, make sure you got your headset on, or make sure we are good over there. And Chris, how we doing, buddy?
We good? We in? We on?
I think you're on.
All right, so from my house, I just wanted to point out that Rome had a small line coming to inner clip 2, which forced field even more shallow. So I just wanted to point that out. That was a big thing for me. I didn't put that
You're
mistake
almost
solely
fixated on that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And there was like opposite ticky-tack mistakes here and
Okay.
there.
I appreciate that. Good insight from Chris Ewell, one of our 3 judges up here. Again, Brian Egger, Chris Ewell, and Ryan Lontaine. And I saw you kind of leaning towards Rome there, Lontaine, but I
caught
think
another replay real quick, and
Yeah.
it showed me the lack of angle from Rome going to outside zone 2 to inside clip 2, and I felt, I was leaning towards one more time, and I thought, Rome did really well, and then Matt hit the inside clip, but when I looked at Rome's chase, originally I thought he did a great job,
Yeah.
but if you analyze it, you can see some errors.
And we're really scrutinizing that run because of the championship implications of what's going on, and Rome did really give it all. Here we go, Jonathan Castro and Ola Jaeger. Jonathan Castro, Jono Montaldom, Toyota GR86, great looking car, and Ola Jaeger with that Mark IV Supra, looking good, gets right to the side of Jonathan Castro. All Toyota battle, old school, new school. We all rule where Toyota rules right now. Look at Castro. Set it and forget it. Really well done there from Jonathan Castro. But Ola Jaeger following him up again, another Norwegian driver behind the wheel of his Norwegian sled. And again, just kind of talking about the previous battle towards the beginning of this battle, but just right before them, Rome Charpentier, Matt Field. But let's focus on this, Ryan.
Yeah, great lead run there from Jonathan Castro. I think he had a couple of little bobbles here on initiation. Right there, you can see it. Right behind him is Ola Jaeger. Ola misses outside zone 1, but it gives him an opportunity to gain proximity going into outside zone 2, and he takes advantage of that. Stays nice and tight with Castro as he comes through inside clip 2. Both great job there. And then as we go to outside zone 3, Ola falls a little behind and then falls offline as well. So he drops down slightly from that box that we have painted in outside zone number 3. So Ola made a compromise at outside zone number 1, but he made it and he got over it and he got back online and he started following it better. Then he falls off slightly in outside zone 3. We tell the drivers, if you're going to make a compromise on line or angle to make up the proximity, do it, but make it quick, because you don't know what's going to happen to that other chase driver when they're chasing you, but you want to make sure you have that proximity set as soon as possible.
All right, so the demeanor of our current points leader, you can see kind of feeling loose, gonna pop the door and get behind his trusty steed, his team. All hands on deck right now. And we saw Ryan Tuerck earlier. He got given the pressure by Mike Power, and we saw what eventually happened to him. So this is where you really need to kind of calm your nerves, see what's going on, assess the situation. But guess what? Rome's stoked. Rome's got to be, grinning ear to ear, and he normally is usually. He's always kind of got a grin on his face. Rome Charpentier in that garage stick BMW, but a lot of pressure in Matt Field's corner. But we'll revisit that in a moment. Right now, Ola Jaeger out front, Japan Auto, Toyota Supra going against the Toyota GR86, 101.7 mile per hour. From Ola Jaeger, he gave a little ooh there, Lontaine, as we're going to review this. Going to that second outside zone, getting that second out, going to that second inside clip. Both of them on it. Like to see Castro with a little more angle there. Looks like he's compromising that proximity for a bit of angle. Ola Jaeger, he gets in, gets out, gets back in to that second out, or that final outside zone.
So my ooh was for Ula's initiation, and I want to see what happened there at initiation.
It looked like it was a little flub or a bobble?
It was a dual initiation, I think. It was a double.
Like a stepped?
He got it a bit to angle and then straightened, and then he got to angle, I think, by the 1 cone, but it looked like it was not as he hoped, anticipated, expected maybe. So that could have a big implication in this battle right now. I want to watch it again as soon as we get that replay up.
right, let's take a look. Here we go. Point it out to me, bud.
Yeah, so look at Ula's car right there. He goes to initiate, doesn't.
Oh, wow. Failure to launch.
Eventually gets it to angle, maybe at or just beyond that one cone. So that's a stepped or failed initiation potentially. In the chase position, you've got Castro doing a good job of positioning his car. Ula was off of inside clip 2, but Castro was right on it. So that gives him a little advantage there in terms of proximity and line. There you go. So there's the run complete. We're seeing that these battles are very tight this round. It just seems like this track, the way it flows, it gives all drivers a great opportunity to put together a good lead and a good chase. So it's going to be coming down to splitting hairs here, I think.
Yeah, and I liked what you talked about. Okay, here's opportunities where you can make it look better, and that's what I think was really interesting about some of the other battles we've seen previously. Jonathan Castro gets the victory. Ula Jaeger unfortunately knocked down the Japan Auto Supra, but congratulations, Jado Metodam. Toyota GR86 pilot Jonathan Castro will advance on, Dominican Republic's own. So, all right, Lorette Nickel caught up with Rome Charpentier right before he went out.
As Rome was underneath his 10, I ran over and I said, how's everything going? And he said, the car is running good. He's feeling so good. He's dialing in the track, and he's just really excited to run the Beast from the Bay. Guys.
Thank you so much, Lorette. Yeah, and I'm sure he had a smile on his face the whole time talking about it. You know, talking to his parents. They said, you know, red was not a good luck color for him. He had a bad year, and then now pink and green and grins all over is what he's got, and that seems to be favoring Rome Charpentier and his garagistic BMW this season. He's just had one heck of a season coming to this round, you know, in the mix. Not for the championship, but overall trying to you know, make some impressions. Speaking of impressions, Jeff Jones and Simon Olsen. Jeff Jones, he's having a heck of a year this year. The Evo Auto Works Nissan 370Z. Simon Olsen, the 2JZ powered Boost Race Fuel Norwegian Drift champion. So one of those guys going against Castro, Jones, or Olsen. And Ryan Tuerck, Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla, the only one missing out of the top 16, out of that top 5 hunt for the championship. Remember, join us either online or in the building at the House of Drift, and that's going down October. That will be the 14th and 15th, Irwindale, California, the final round of our 22 season. Jeff Jones will lead. Jones qualified 14th, Simon Olsen qualifying 19th. So fairly equally matched battle. Let's see what we got here from Jones and Olsen. Run 1 here in the Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32. And Jones initiates 96.7 miles per hour, tight on that inside clip. Simon Olsen, you kind of see him sliding on by, losing some ground into that second outside zone. Taking the tighter line is Olsen. Now Jones into that final outside zone. Olsen, you can see him putting that back right in. Doesn't hold on to it, but Jones rips across the finish line. And his Nissan Z again, Evo Auto Works, Nissan Z.
So that was a good lead from Jeff Jones. Did see some errors from Simon Olsen in the chase position. So Jeff gets the car to angle there, nicely done. Olsen dives in a little bit there, and then falls off, misses outside zone 1 and 2, while Jeff Jones fills them both. Jeff, pretty good job on inside clip number 2. Simon hits inside clip 2 with his front bumper. Jeff, nice line around outside zone number 2, right in the box, almost right out to the edge of the track. We can see Simon inside there. So that was the bobble from Simon on initiation. He's across the other side of the smoke in that view, but he missed both outside zones and then hit the inside clip with basically with the headlight on the right side of that car. And then right here you'll be able to see Simon does start in outside zone 3, but then gets out of it immediately. Has decent proximity, but is definitely compromising on the line through outside zone 3 to the finish line.
Yeah, how we doing, fans up in the building? Thank you for joining us out here. The inaugural, I know Jim Lau's watching at home. Shout out to Bora. Jim Lau, he's watching. And some fans here joining us. A lot of shakas in Utah. Everybody's throwing shakas. That's what I'm seeing more than anything. A little hang loose. All right, so Simon Olsen will lead. Jeff Jones giving chase. Let's see who gets the second half of this battle. Again, the winner going against Jonathan Castro. Will it be Simon Olsen from Norway, Jeff Jones from Southern California, Los Angeles? Here we go. Olsen and Jones. Jones pacing him on initiation. Olsen initiates. Jones, kind of a little delayed initiation there compared to what Olsen did. Now Jones comes into that second outside zone. Olsen wavers into that second inside clip, does a good job now into that final outside zone. Olsen looking a lot more confident out front. You could just see, you know, with him out front getting the fresh air, you know, some kind of interesting things. I want to see what happened on initiation there. It seemed Jeff might have been a little delayed. He didn't go exactly at the same time Olsen did, and that's not required. Just got to go towards that 3-2-1 cone. Ryan, what'd you see?
Yeah, it looked like Jeff Jones initiated late. Watch the puff of smoke after the 1 cone. So that might be a problem for Jeff Jones in the chase position. You need to initiate by that 1 cone at the very latest. In terms of the run itself, Simon had a little bobble there after outside zone 2, but did a decent job in the zones. Jeff missed outside zone 2. Maybe didn't have the momentum there. It looked like he fell off a little bit after that late initiation. It just wasn't able to catch up after that. So you see there that initiation was really late. May have even been a failed attempt and then a secondary attempt that caught on a little bit late though. So that bobble right there from Simon didn't seem to affect Jeff because he wasn't really in the proximity that would have allowed or caused him to have an issue there with that.
All right, let's see if we have a result here. Scrutinizing the runs, our judges, Brian Egger, Chris Ewell, and of course, co-host and judge Ryan Lontaine. Is that Young Gravy? What's up, dog? Is that Young Gravy right there? I think he's in the building. And here's our BC Racing Go for Gold side-by-side instant replay. Of course, all the replays brought to you by United States Air Force, the official military sponsor of Formula Drift. Matt Sopa waiting to give the results as we look here. That is Jones leading on the left, Olsen leading on the right. So a lot of focus there. You can see Jones' initiation was tight to the inside clip. Was it at the right point? That looks like it threw Jones off of that second outside zone, but Olsen, you know, his chase run, you saw him knock down that second inside clip. Now going to that last outside zone. Jones definitely deep, look at that. In that lead position, did a really good job, Olsen. So it's, you know, it's kind of seeing a trend here. You know, that's just going to be a real dominant flex if you get in that chase position to fill all of that last outside zone. That's just going to really show that you have the horsepower, the driving prowess, the confidence. Hey, what's going on, my man? Are you excited to be here? Okay, right on. Who's your favorite driver? See if I can read your lips. Who's your favorite driver? Who? Thumbs up? You don't know? He doesn't know. Okay, everybody's his favorite driver. I like that. Drifting's your favorite driver. All right, so let's see as we are getting a verdict coming in. There is Dylan the Dozer Hughes. Dylan Hughes, he's advancing on right now. Okay, slide him left for Jones, right for Olsen, and Simon Olsen gets the win, 2-1. And Lontaine, I saw you over there analyzing what's going on. What came to my mind, or what came to your mind, excuse me, as Simon, you voted for Olsen.
Yeah, I was looking at his Jeff Jones's initiation and chase is what I was focusing on. It looks like he initiated late and didn't get the car to angle for quite a while after the 1 cone, and it's just not what we're looking for in terms of either run, lead or chase. And then his proximity was off. It just seemed like his flow was off through the chase run, missed a couple of zones. Simon had a couple of errors as well, but I just feel that he did a better job overall.
All right, big pressure again. Eyeballs on these two drivers. Rome Charpentier, second place in E-Town, going against our current points leader, and this is a one more time battle. So it tells you that Rome is not a pushover, and Matt Field really needs to apply the pressure here. And don't leave it in the judge's hands. That's just seems to be a reoccurring theme here. So here we go. Rome Charpentier will lead. He qualified 10th. Here's our one more time battle between Rome and Matt Field. Rome initiates in that first inside clip. You see Matt just barely nicking with that front left corner to that second outside zone. Both the drivers go. Let's see the angle here now coming into that second inside clip. Both of them zeroing in on it. Looks like Matt Field not leaving anything, said, I'm going to hit those darn inside clips. He missed them on that first battle. Rome gets all the way into that outside zone. Matt was flirting with it. I think it was on the line of entry in that last outside zone. And I really think Matt says, look, I'm not going to miss those inside clips. I'm going to nick them so you know I hit them. Rome wrapping it around properly. What's your stance on hitting those inside clip cones?
Well, it's all going to be comparative. It depends
where you hit it.
Rome does in his chase.
All right.
So just a little tap there. Good job on line for both there. Matt maybe wasn't as deep in zone 1, but following well through zone 2. Look at the proximity through in clip 2. Again, just taps that inside clip. And there's that
awesome
proximity on the transitions I was looking forward to, as you asked me earlier today. Great job from both, but you can see the consistency from Rome. He's putting his car in the same place essentially on every single run. Doing a great job there. Matt is making slight sacrifices, but look at that proximity. You can't argue with that. That is beautiful. That transition right there. The car positioning. You can see that a couple of little bobbles from Rome in the lead position through outside zone 3. Matt isn't quite as deep in outside zone 3. His tire is just kind of inside that white line. But now it's going to come down to Rome. How can he put together a chase behind Matt? And how well can Matt do on his lead run? Matt has some big shoes to fill here, let's say, in terms of trying to match what Rome just put together. Rome was deep in all the zones. He may have left outside zone number 2 a little bit early, but he fills 1, transitions the car, and gets to zone 2 pretty well. Just left zone 2 early, and Matt was following right behind.
So a big battle here, and this is where Matt needs to show some dominance, that he is your points leader and wants to be champion. And we talked about that, just under 50 points. Matt Field is ahead of Frederick Aasbo, so there are some big points at stake here, big position power plays, because keep in mind, 100 points at stake for first, 91 for second, you see 80, 67, so on and so forth. But again, 4 of the top 5 drivers are in top 16 already. So here we go. Matt Field out front, Rome Charpentier in the chase position. Matt Field's really going to need to show why he's called the Beast of the Bay and your current points leader. He's yet to have a victory this year, but would love to get on top of the box or in the conversation and stay in that conversation. Into that second outside zone, big power, big angle. Now approaching that second inside clip. A little bit off, but big angle. Rome falling back a little bit. He needs to apply the pressure, and there goes Matt Field into it. And look at Rome. Look how deep Rome is. He does waver in that chase position. Matt Field did exactly what he needs to do. I'll tell you, kind of alternating here. Remember, keep in mind, they can go another one more time, and Rome has seen this, and again, not a pushover by any means. He's not in the championship conversation, but right now, he slid into those DMs, my friend.
I liked Matt Field's line from outside zone 2 to inside clip 2, whereas with Rome, it was a little bit tight. He left outside zone 2 early. So let's look at Matt, who's pulling away here at initiation. Good job on inside clip 1. Good job on outside zone 1.
Whoa.
You can see there, Rome goes real long on zone 1 and then misses zone 2. Matt Field has that nice arc from zone 2 to in 2. And then right here, you can see Matt right on that line, all the way wide. And you can see that Rome is situated very similarly to where Matt had, Matt is, I got confused.
It's good. No, it's good. It's
Matt,
good, man.
Rome was in the same spot as Matt was on his chase. There we go. I got it right now.
No, and I love just analyzing all the different angles. Here we are, requested and asked upon us as our role, for me especially, to knee-jerk reaction and react. Getting that eye in the sky, getting the different POV, and getting all the different angles, no pun intended, is how we need to execute. And you guys need to, get the verdict here. So slide him left for Rome or right for Matt Field, and Matt Field gets the win. But hey, round of applause for Rome Charpentier, an absolute weapon. And this is just going to show you. What do you guys think? Do you agree with that? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Either in the stands, we got thumbs up. All right, my man with that SEMA Ignited hat. I'll see you at SEMA Ignited later on. But again, our fans filling the stands here at UMC, being pulled onto the scales. So again, One half of the frenemies, and the other one down in the pits with the red nickel, Odie.
We're going to see Odie in top 16. And Odie, you have had a roller coaster of a weekend here in Salt Lake.
Yeah, we have such a great program, such a great team, and this year it's been the craziest out of my 10 years with an electrical gremlin. And we had it again at the beginning of this round. We thought we resolved it because we did so much work getting into Utah. And first lap out, we had an issue. So we've been battling that. I'm glad to say that we did so many unorthodox things and Band-Aids and went around so many circuits, and it's working now. So I'm just glad to be driving a car that's actually working, not shutting off, and I could actually focus on driving. So very much looking forward to battling Chris Forsberg in top 16.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see you against Chris Forsberg coming up after the break. And also looking at the championship points, are you making moves to move a couple positions up?
I got nothing to lose the remainder of this round. I'm just going to drive as hard as I freaking want. We're not on any cusp of not even, in contention for the championship. I'd like to stay in the top 5. I feel like I've been a top 3 driver for so many years in a row, so we're going to fight hard, but I got nothing to lose.
All right, Odie, thank you so much. Guys?
Thank you, Lorette, and some great insight there from one of the best in the biz, Odie Bakshis. One half of the frenemies is the other frenemy there, just getting the victory over Rome. But here we go. The loudest car, I think, in Formula Drift. Jonathan Hurst, the pride of Paducah, that AZ Rags BMW going against another BMW. The young buck, that is Brandon Sorensen, into that first outside zone. See how, oh, look at that. Brandon Sorensen narrowly almost hitting Jonathan Hurst. And now into that inside clip, you see him knocking it over. Now into that final outside zone. Let's see how Jonathan Hurst handles it. He gets into it. Brandon Sorensen flirting with the edge, but Hurst right there on the edge of the course. Woo! Almost hitting that drone cam there with some shrapnel coming off the top there, but really well done by Hurst. You saw Sorensen, taking out that second inside clip. Let's analyze it. Break it down.
Yeah, as they run up to initiation, I think they both did a good job on inside clip 1. Let's have a look at it. Good initiation from both of them. Yeah. Oh, Brandon hit inside clip 1. Low angle there as he misses outside zone 1 and outside zone 2. While on the lead, you see Hurst doing a good job through there. So that's the second inside clip that was hit by Brandon. Definitely making some compromises to maintain proximity. You can see that through outside zone number 3 as well. Brandon's on a tighter line there. So look at his angle there. I guess Brandon did get into outside zone number 1, but he did go as wide as Hurst put his tire on the rumble strip, which is totally legal. And as they transition here for zone number 3, you can see Brandon jump in a little bit there and not quite as wide. He's not in the box as Jonathan Hurst puts his tire right on the edge of the track. Looks really strong.
See that part flap? I don't know what it was, a GoPro or something. Flew off right after the finish line. Yeah. Oh man, you can feel a little bit of a sigh of relief there from Matt Field. There you go. Yeah, you can see what's going on here. Pop off that helmet, and we'll see the second half of this Hurst and Sorensen battle. And I'm sure Lorette will have some words with him. And Matt Field will advance on, and he's going against Ken Gushi in the 16. Remember, we do have a halftime break. Let the drivers kind of gather their thoughts, but once we start 16, it's on and cracking to find out who wins here at round 7 of the Type S Elevated presented by AutoZone. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. Here we go. Brandon Sorensen will now lead from Las Vegas, going against Jonathan Hurst. Jonathan Hurst pacing him here. See what Brandon Sorensen's got. Here comes Sorensen out front. 98 miles an hour into that inside clip. You saw a little bit of correction there again. We saw that in his chase run, so maybe a little timid there going into that inside clip. Now, past the second inside clip, Jonathan Hurst, I think, has an opportunity to catch him here, maybe pacing him by design. But Brandon Sorensen, look at that. Oh, buddy. Bang, bang. Okay, we get into the door, so
a little bit of contact there.
I have to think that Sorensen came out of drift there and got into the side of Jonathan Hurst. That should be interesting. And again, oh man, look at that door. Oh, okay, we got some suicide doors here. Is that a Lincoln Continental all of a sudden? can see that battle damage there. So, oh, look at this. This is great. Look at Rome and Matt talking here. It was a good first battle, Matt. But that's the attitude I'd love to see. Right on. Kudos to Rome Charpentier. And, of course, Matt talking about what went down. Really love this.
And lunge forward, right? Where, like, I can back into it and drive away. Yeah. Your car just
And then down the straightaway, I jump you. I'm like almost wheel to wheel on the straightaway, and you're like, yeah. I'm like, oh.
All right, as we watch the replay, I think the big question here is what happened at the finish line. And I've been watching the replay on our little other screen here, and it looked like, so right there, let's start there. Sorensen had an issue at inside clip 1, and it threw Hurst off a little bit, but Hurst gets back on it, mimics the line through here. As he transitions for zone 3, he's just outside that box, but right here at the finish line, you can even see Sorensen's hands inside, unwinding the wheel. You can see him hand over hand in that area. So let's watch it from the sky here. It'll show us what happened. As you watch this overhead view, you're going to see angle coming out of Sorensen's car. And I don't know if it was maybe a grip issue or mechanical, something's happening there. But watch right there. The car loses angle, and I think maybe the only reason that angle remained in the car is because Hurst hit him and kind of pumped him back to angle. So definitely something came up there as an issue with Sorensen's car. And from the other view, you can see him hand over hand unwinding the wheel. So there is something that occurred at the finish line, and it's going to go Jonathan Hurst's way.
All right, there it is. Jonathan Hurst gets the victory. The AZ Rags BMW gets the win. The Pride of Paducah knocking out the young buck, high-flying Brandon Sorensen in that Air Force BMW. One more battle left, but let's throw it down to Laurent Nickel. Who you got?
So much energy, so much amazingness right surrounding me right now. Rome, you came straight over and congratulated Matt on his win, and you had a few words to tell him.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's a phenomenal driver. Like, he basically kind of taught me how to drive. So the chasing this guy down is insane. He doesn't know, but on the line, I took a selfie of us together. Yeah. On the line, I'm like, look at this, ah! And then just sent it. And it
focus, like, don't talk to me, don't look at me. Yeah.
In the zone, killing it. I mean, I pushed as hard as I could, and I mean, he was on my door through every transition. So flat out won, and man, I think he's gonna win it tonight. It's a bold statement for me right now, but after chasing a couple cars, I watched his line and his run. I think he's got it.
And Matt, a real nail-biting moment, getting a one more time there.
Yeah, we got to remember, it's top 32. Like, that's a tough battle for top 32. And
all right, so, well, we're going to be seeing more of Matt Field. Unfortunately, not of Rome Charpentier, but great attitude, good sportsmanship. Love that celebration. But right now, one more battle left, and it's Nick Noback versus Wataru Masuyama. All right, Nick Noback and that CoroWorks BMW going against Masuyama, that Buy Now Japan. I know Matt Field's watching. Wataru Masuyama, the Drift Cave, operates that Buy Now Japan SUT. Nick Noback, CoroWorks, Tyler, and Greg and Lauren, they're all watching back either here in the booth or up in Atlanta or down in Atlanta. Here we go, Nick Noback initiating the CoroWorks BMW. And that first outside zone transition, the second outside zone, Masuyama mimicking the angle, needs more proximity, and you ask and you shall receive. Masuyama brings it a little tight here. Big angle there from Noback. Massive angle from Noback. You saw him kind of come out of that outside zone, but still obviously an exciting run from both of them. Let's take a look at it again. Different angles with our United States Air Force instant replay. Again, last battle, top 32.
All right, as they come down to initiation, looks like Masuyama had a bit of a delayed initiation, but gets on it pretty well after that. Good job in the lead from Noback going through outside zone 1 and 2. Masuyama's mimicking pretty well here. Nice line from both of them by inside clip number 2 as they transition for 3. Noback gets in the box and then leaves it near maybe about halfway through. Masuyama's right there with him. So you see right there that hesitation on initiation from Masuyama in the chase position. Noback, good line there. This aerial view, of course, shows us everything. Nice transition from both of them. Great line through inside clip 2. Nice mimic from Masuyama in the chase position. Coming to outside zone 3. Nick Noback starts in the zone and then leaves it about halfway through. Masuyama maybe even stayed deeper as he went through in the chase position outside zone number 3.
Potentially one more half of a battle left here in 32 to forge. our Royal Purple Top 16. Last battle of our Rockstar Energy Top 32. Yeah, we got Kazuya Taguchi, Aasbo, Forsberg, Bakshis, Denofa and Hull, Dylan Hughes and Reader, two bros, about to throw down. Ken Gushi versus Matt Field, that should be a good one. Of course, Castro and Simon Olsen, and then Jonathan Hurst against one of these guys for our final battle in 32. The Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32, Rockstar, the official energy drink of Formula Drift. Masuyama will lead, Noback giving chase. Remember, we have a halftime break, and then we're back at it like a track addict. And we'll be back here for our live stream, and here, obviously, the inaugural round. That is the Type S Elevator, presented by AutoZone. Nasty initiation by that Buy Now Japan S15, and Nick Noback swings wide. Want to see if he just mismarked it, or was there something that went wrong in the lead position? Nick Noback trying to power back into that final outside zone. Masuyama into that final outside zone. Nick Noback straightening and bringing on home. Let's take a look what happened there. Again, Masuyama with a gangster initiation. Was it warranted? Was it exciting? Did Nick Noback make a mistake? Was he kind of just phased? What happened? What went south?
Well, we're gonna have to see on the replay what occurred. Masuyama's initiation was really, really big, and it looked like Noback in the chase. Trying to watch on our other screen over here to see what's going on.
Now keep in mind the chase car needs to give way to the lead car on initiation. Maybe Noback was applying too much pressure and got into his business. Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, there could have been contact. There is
his bumper is down there. Yeah, his back bumper down there on the ground. But I believe that's just into that second outside zone. So that second outside zone is where he lost that back bumper.
It looked like Masuyama was back on throttle by the inside clip.
Here it is. A lot of handbrake, but not. Yeah, so there was contact. Yeah. There was contact.
No, it looked like Noback was maybe a little too aggressive on that. We do have the drone footage that we're gonna back it up. That is some artistic drone driving right there. Flying.
You're not seeing a lot of smoke from Masuyama's car, so there is handbrake being pulled, but keep in mind, D-cell area, was he beyond it? Is he in it? Is it justified? Was Nick Noback just, kind of the perfect storm, as I like to call it, where he's too close, and Masuyama, through an initiation we really haven't seen too much of, but you need to kind of temper that flame and temper that choice. So yeah, analyze it, looking at it again there, Ryan.
Yeah, I see smoke from Masuyama before the inside clip. But it just seems like, see the fluidity, like the motion. Yeah, he's back on throttle right before the hit. Maybe it was Noback just trying to be really close and trying to be aggressive there. That's what it looks like, based on the movement of the cars, the motion. The
All right, slide him left for Noback, right for Masuyama, and it looks like Masuyama unanimously gets the win. Masuyama gets the win, and Nick Noback just a little too aggressive. Congratulations to the Coro Works team for getting that victory last night in Pro Spec, Blake Olson, but not the case here in Pro. Look at the crowd. Thank you guys and gals so much for either joining us here at the inaugural first ever Type S Elevator presented by AutoZone. Lantain, your thoughts on 32 as 16 is forged. Remember, we have that halftime break, and we're back here, I believe, and we'll get that schedule up there. But your thoughts?
Yeah, this is only going to get harder and harder for these drivers. I think we've seen in top 32 here that the driving is very high level across the board. It's fast. It's easy to get the car positioned. Visually from our point of view, I'm sure the drivers would have a different perspective on that. Chris was mentioning inside clip 2 feels off camber a little bit, but it's making for one heck of a show, and we're seeing a lot of tight tandems and those great transitions at speed, inches away from the lead car. That is incredible.
Thank you so much, Lantain. It's some great insight on behalf of you and the judges, Chris Yule, Brian Eggert, Ryan Lantain. On behalf of the whole staff, it's local time, just so you know, 2:09. So just less than 2 hours, we'll kick off our opening ceremonies, our United States Air Force opening ceremonies, our driver introduction. My name is Jared Deanda. Enjoy our little halftime break here. Grab a Rockstar energy drink, grab a good time, meet and greet your favorite drivers. If you're in the building, our inaugural ever round, Utah Motorsports Campus, delivering, again, round 7 of 8. This is Type S Elevated presented by AutoZone. We'll see you back in a couple hours. Send it.